Welcome back to Valorant Game Changers Southeast Asia Stage 1. We just saw Aura Differential earlier secure their series, and that means that their journey over here continues. We're going to see if other two teams can manage to do the same thing for like Aura Differential. We have RIMA GC versus Dangerous Rose here, Tash, and I feel like these teams are also kind of like similar. They're made up of players who have been in and out of the Game Changers scene for quite some time, but they have yet to be, I think, pushed to this level here at playoffs.
Yeah, it's really exciting because when you look at this team, RIMA GC, it's a very interesting mix. Two of their players' core were from Deviant Topaz. Yeah, Deviant Topaz.
Yes.
And then you have Bless, who is a Sentinel from the Philippines, I believe, and the rest are quite still very, 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 I would say, mysterious per se. And on the other hand, if you look at Dangerous Rose, I think they're still pretty much also quite new, very, very raw team.
Yes, it's funny how they kind of have they have that core of three, because I
Yeah.
do believe that they do have different Dangerous Rose rather has a similar core of three players, right? I believe that
Yeah.
Taryn and Pady and Micro Bill, Micro Brilt rather have been playing together since last year, just like the core of Rima GC. So
Yeah.
how well does that core match up against Rima's, right? So that's the big question that's going to happen here, especially since like I trust a lot in the team chemistry that takes a while to develop here.
Yeah, it's really exciting when you look at these two teams because while they are very, very new, they have tried to compete prior. Or at least some of them did try to compete last year. So in terms of making it, this would be the first time for both teams, except for Tup and Yuna, I believe,
Yes.
or Yanni rather, who last year did make it into the playoffs, but didn't really go far. But it is still a pretty good lineup per se, making it just here into the top 8.
Yeah, it is like going to be a real test for both of these teams, especially since now it's like now it gets real, I guess, for these players, right?
Yeah.
I think that I do believe that like Bugsy on the side of Rima GC, she does seem to be that anchor player who is
Yeah.
really able to hold the team together and deliver when it's needed the most. So like my eyes are just gonna be on her. I think there's a lot of the other players do flex around. I believe it's Bugsy on control and then Bless on a sentinel, and then all of the other players may flex here and there
Oh
from
yeah.
control to initiator to duelist. So I'm eager to see like what kind of compositions we're going to be seeing from Rima GC. And on the side of Dangerous Rose rather, you do have you might see Freya, I believe, lock in on the sentinel, and then you will have Taran hard lock on the duelist, and then again you will see the other players switch around as well. So I'm eager to see like in what form they'll be here, especially since they're up against a team that kind of mirrors them in some way.
I think it's also very fun as well that this season we are seeing a lot more flex players. I think last season we barely saw that. Maybe 2 or 3 players were in those flex, but a lot of the players were very, very comfortable playing their own agents and their own roles. It's more about the comfort. I think we talked about this last year, Mika, about how a lot of the time, a lot of teams were leaning more toward the comfort picks. The strats they were playing were placed around like what they're very, very comfortable in playing. But this season, it's a lot more. We're starting to see that similarity happening from the GC side as well. We're starting to see a lot of flex players, a lot of comps actually coming through from bigger teams. And speaking of comps, let's look at the comps that's coming in very, very soon for these two teams. I want to see, sorry, not comps, excuse me, the map veto per se, because I want to see which maps these players are going to play. You're going to be seeing another Breeze for today, alongside a Sunset and a Lotus.
Ooh, very, very interesting, especially since like you do have a player like Pady, for example, who runs usually runs initiator, and then you have Freya, who's like seems to be more one of the more consistent players on this roster who plays sentinel. So that's incredibly heavy on a lot of the info side for the side of Dangerous Rose, right? So
Yeah.
the fight for Dangerous Rose, it seems to be on Pady and Freya's shoulders the most.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be about how well these two can set up their team for those plays, right? And for Rima GC, my eyes are on Bugsy because she just seems to be that nucleus that holds the team together, and then everybody just kind of revolves around her. That's what I'm reading so far. Again, it may change as we head into any one of these maps.
I think it's also really exciting as well because if you look at the side of Rima, they've never played Breeze before. this is a brand new map for them. And I think it comes back to what we saw from Lilith just now as well, where you haven't really seen Lilith play. I'm really hoping that it's not going to be the same issue as prior, because Lilith felt very lost. It felt like they didn't really have an idea on how exactly to play that map compared to our differential. But for Rima, this might be a good thing, because they may have had scrims on Breeze, they may have comps or even strats on Breeze, and for Dangerous Rose, they might know nothing about it, because their games may not have, because they've never played Breeze on an official match, which means that their games have never been aired before. They might have a step up or a leg up because of it.
Exactly. It's like, would you rather go up against an opponent that you know or one that you don't? It's like it's two sides of a coin, right? Because there are pros and cons to
But
each
it's really funny. I'm so sorry to cut you, because it's funny, because in the flip side, if you look at Bind, Rima GC has played that map 7 times. But Dangerous Rose has not played that map at all. So it's just
choose your poison.
Yeah, choose your poison at this point, and it's all just relying on that decider map, on who exactly will do better on that third map at this point. I'm expecting a 2-1. Honestly, I'm gonna be real with you. I'm expecting a 2-1 just because of these stats that we have. Sorry, analyst brain. But I'm not gonna say to who, because we all know. I think everyone in Southeast Asia and APAC know about my jinx.
Oh
right
yeah,
now. And
don't Tash.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say anything. I'm not about to activate that on stream as well, because I learned yesterday that also happened during Challengers Malaysia Singapore, that my jinxes also happened on stream. So that is something to worry about. But coming back to this, it's all about, I mean, again, coming to this map, momentum heavy teams, both maps I would say is very momentum heavy, especially Bind in particular. You feel good, you shoot good, you will feel good. And the same could be said about Breeze. But the thing about Breeze is that because it's such a big map, the mid-round adjustments are a little bit easier in my opinion. It gives a lot of space, it gives a lot of time for you to reposition and really kind of cut noise if you want to, compared to playing a Bind game where the maps are a lot smaller. But the question now is, I'm just worried that, okay, one team wins map 1, one team loses map 2, and map 3, because they won map 1 and lost map 2, their mindsets have shifted. Valorant is such a heavy, it's so heavy. Yeah, we talk about strats, we talk about raw fundamentals when it comes to aim and positioning. But what about that mindset? I feel like it's not talked a lot enough.
Yeah, it's definitely something that really shapes like the mind of a competitor, right? And that's what all these players will be going through in these next few days. They've already been through the open qualifiers, which have probably been like have pushed them to their limits, and now it's a step even further here at the playoffs. And as stage 1 comes into a close, right, and then you have stage 2 over on the horizon, it's gonna get even tougher. Now, of course, as we step into Breeze here, I'm looking at the previous composition that Dangerous Rose has brought out on Breeze, and we did have a Sova, a Yoru, a Viper, a Jet, and a Cypher. And again, leaning into Pady and Freya, and then we have Micro Bilku on the Sova. So it's leaning a lot on a lot of heavy info gathering, and it's a matter of how far can Taran take it, how far can Taran take advantage of all of that in order to get the win here. But I think the Dangerous Rose, their opponents were quite strong, so they weren't able to really dominate on this map. I just wonder if it's a reflection of, like, I guess how far they're going to struggle here, or if Rima GC probably has that surprise factor that you mentioned, Tash, coming into this.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to look all the way till the end as well, statistic-wise, there are more maps played in Lotus for Rima GC compared to Dangerous Rose, who's only played 1. So that also might play a factor in the end. By the end of the day, every team has scrimmed, every team has prepped. It's just a matter of not how well their executes are going to play. I think when it comes to executes, there is a different, I mean, there are a lot of conversations going around scrims as well as official matches. Like, okay, we haven't lost scrims since this time to this time, but scrim bucks, to me, in my opinion, it doesn't really play as a big role as everyone might think it does. Mostly because a lot of the time, a lot of teams are just practicing or trying out new things on stronger opponents to see whether or not that strat is going to work. So that is another thing that a lot of teams have to worry about as well. As we go into this, I am really curious to see what exactly will be the lineups, especially for Dangerous Rose, who have not played Bind yet. Dangerous Rose, I mean, a double duelist comp would be great, like what we saw earlier. It's a very aggressive thing that we can see, and it definitely isn't something that Rima GC does play. A Rima GC is a very interesting one, running the initial duelist as a Yoru instead of picking a space-taking duelist. I'm wondering how exactly they are executing onto site.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting indeed to see how the teams are going to be what kind of lineups, what kind of compositions we're going to be seeing as we step into the first map, because you're dealing with a team that it seems like all players more or less can flex around, and we're not exactly sure who will be carrying the momentum and what kind of flavor that will bring, right? You have a duelist on one player, and they might have a different flavor compared to another duelist bringing in on another agent, right?
Yeah.
So it's that kind of tempo, it's that kind of rhythm. Everybody has their own kind. So how much are these two teams going to mirror each other? How different are they going to be? The answer is we're getting a mirror match here.
Wow. Okay. I think this is the standard comp nowadays, especially since what we saw in Madrid. Running the Yorus coming in. I saw it happen during
Age of
Challengers
Yoru.
MYS. Challengers MYSG as well, especially for the two top teams that we saw playing the grand finals yesterday, which was Orglis as well as Orglis and Lays as well ran this comp. Now the question is, like, we see this, how exactly this comp is going to work is that you have the Jet coming in from the front lines, and the Yoru will try and teleport to the backside. Most of the time, if they manage to do this right, the Yoru can teleport to the back and perhaps either get information before they run away, or they could go for a reposition and go for the kill, which a lot of times you want to clear the right side of the map, the right side of pyramids with that Yoru, and it gives a lot of value on the attacking side. Now on the defensive side, having this Yoru is going to be massive because it gives you a lot of access to either halls or even mid side with the ability to escape as well. So let's see how these teams will be doing this, and which team will have the better skill matchup in this mirror matchup.
Exactly. Again, as we're seeing, it's the same Asian composition on both sides. So it's going to come down to who can outplay who at this point, right? I'm being very, very optimistic with some players, but time will only tell as we step into Breeze. So let's throw it back to our casters, Koldan and Pilski.
Thanks a lot, analyst panel. Keen for this last series of the day for you and me, Koldan, and of course it's going to be a Yoru mirror on Breeze here. Have seen a couple more reps here for Dangerous Rose on this map, and not too much to look at for RIMA. We'll see what they're going to bring to this game of Breeze.
Yeah, it's pretty cool to see the Yoru. It's a bit of a change in composition from the previous Breeze that we just witnessed.
Yeah.
So I think it's going to be pretty interesting to see how these two teams incorporate the Yoru. But as the desk mentioned, right, one of these teams has 0 official reps on this match, and we saw the exact same thing happen in the previous Breeze that we just witnessed. So one team playing it often, one team not, and we could see the vast difference. So repeat or maybe something different. I'm curious to see how Dangerous Rose would like to bring this map into their favor, because of course this is that map picked by them. And see if they can bring it up to an 1-0 scoreline. Or will RIMA answer back? Because RIMA definitely do have a pretty strong roster. I've seen a couple of these players play last year as well. So excited to see how they perform in this new squad that they have.
Yeah, I'm interested to see, I think obviously one of these teams has got a couple of reps with this comp in officials. If I'm going into a game like this, with the Yoru mirror, I'm thinking about the interaction of, obviously the biggest thing on defense is that the Yoru can be everywhere. You can leave your TP behind on one side of the map. So for the attacking team, you're thinking about things like baiting the TP on the defense and then pivoting to the other side of the map. For the defensive team, it's all about adjusting the Cypher trips to be able to play around those Yoru setups. Your Cypher is going to become a very, very important part of your defense. And obviously, you want to take the bear out of the cannon. Like, oh, it's not a cannon, it's a tire. I don't even know why I'm thinking. I thought it was a cannon for a sec. That would have been horrific. But you know what? You know what is about to pop off, Koldan? This game of Breeze, mate.
All right. Well, you set it up perfectly. Let's see if RIMA and the Dangerous Roses can tango immediately. Starting it off. Aggression. I like the set play. Initial contact, but that's 3 players noted for the side of RIMA already. Aggressive towards that A main position.
Yeah, but this is where the Yoru is very valuable. The TP is not deep in spawn, but you definitely can see things like A main aggression into an instant TP to the other side of the map. Can't always read into the numbers that you see. Double Duelist pushing all the way. TP has now elapsed, so that rotation's not going to be an option for RIMA, but they've taken all of this space and information on A mate. Dangerous Rose in the meanwhile just turtling Freya, about to run into 2 players, unaware of it, at least gets the Yoru, but traded by the Jet.
Surely this is the indication to go. Yeah, and surely they do. The double split comes into the B side. 2 on either prongs. Bless at the back of the site. What more can she do? Oh, Tub lines them up. Peeks through the wall, I think. Managed to find the 2 players coming in from mid. Micro, Brilk. Extremely low as well. Marine, only player on high HP, finds that first kill, but Micro spotted out shoulder just above the wall. And Tub, a beautiful anchor here towards this B side. Marine spotted out towards this back of the site. Without the spike being down, it's going to be a difficult endeavor for her to even get onto the site. And yeah, the swing comes through. Yanni picks up the last, and Rima off to the first.
Yeah, good stuff from Rima. Getting going nice and early here on this defensive side of Breeze. Very active and assertive on the map, pushing all the way through A main, getting the 1-for-1 on the lurker. See Dangerous Rose just sitting in a 1-4, and after they lost that Hall's lurker, just kicked off the B execute and weren't quite able to get enough out of it. Massive 3k from Tub, playing the pivot there from half wall. That multi-frag really doing them a lot of favors. And now for Rima, just a nice and chill anti-eco. Not even really too much invested in this one for Dangerous Rose.
Able to find too much. Just a little bit of presence towards that elbow position. You see Rima being very active, as you mentioned, even in the previous series, right? That is a key when you have those double duelists and the Yoru ability to teleport away. Tub, better be careful. Walks into 2 players, the classics that deal the damage. But at least the gun's not given over, so have that at the very least. But Rise is in a great position, right? So much information. And I love the discipline coming in from the Dangerous Roses. Look at them, getting nice and slow around here. Rise getting a little bit curious now with the lack of information. She wants to push even further. There's so many players on the other side. Finds the first one, and discipline coming into play. Will just back off. That's a teleport. Actually, might want to go in for even more. Gets dinked from miles away, but still, information has been passed over. Bugsy spotted out, aggressive towards A main, and things are slowly unraveling. Rima losing a bit too many players in the meantime, and
30 seconds left.
Dangerous Rose, they want to capitalize on this out of position Viper.
Yeah, you got to be careful. They're already taking way too much damage. Flash goes over the top as well, pushing Yanni off the line. Nice little orb and snakebite combo going to take Taran out of the server here, and Bugsy alive on site. Playing that pivot, 10 seconds to get the spike down here, and they're all going to run into the Viper. Bugsy not able to get anything done. They've got the spike down just in time here, Coldown.
Spike planted.
Oh, such tight margins, yet they make it over the line. Outlaw in play, but the double swing comes through. Bless covering her teammate, and now 1v2. We have no idea where Freya's up to. Found the Bulldog in hand. The lineup comes, but it's not going to be enough. Bless finds the last 2 kills, and the Rima, you know what, started off as a pretty interesting, aggressive round. Got a little bit close, but thankfully they still brought it away in the end.
No, I mean, you should never even be putting yourself in those positions, though. The Sova on right side of Nest getting caught out. Yoru's diving down bottom mid, 1v5. These are the kind of rounds that are going to get messy and cost you a lot of guns. 2 players surviving, both have to upgrade their armor. That takes a pretty massive toll on the defensive side economy, so Rima have to go for a bit of a bonus here. Not what they necessarily would have wanted, but got to give credit to Dangerous Rose for making that an expensive round with really only a Sheriff purchased. So, look, let's see what they're going to get for us on this attacking side. Dart up to top middle. Looks like they're already setting up for an A-split. Dash active.
Bugsy gets very curious about the Euro teleport. Doesn't get baited into shooting the clone though. Yeah, realizes it's a fake, but with so many angles to manage around with, yeah, gets pincered on the site. Rice is here, wants to deal a little bit of damage. Freya,
Here.
more than diligent to clear that angle. Now in a 3 versus
Spike
5,
planted.
the retake has to
Here.
be called for. Yaddy, that Outlaw's not the best weapon for this retake, but perhaps could catch a couple of these attackers in their post plant positions, but they're playing really far up. It's extremely advanced for this post plant. As we might expect this, the flash comes through, and so does the peak, but Bless, nice shot from her. Finds that first frag, but there's still multiple players around this corner. Around Orange, the scan is brilliantly done, but they can't cross this line in the sand. They know there's a player towards mid as well. It's such an awkward duel, but she opts to go from the top lane. 80, nice catch there. Tub and Bless, Tub with 2 kills with the Sheriff. But Freya's there to answer as well. It's a 1 versus 1. was just a low buy. And Tub barely around the corner, but time is not on her side. Freya picks up the last. Oh, never mind. Runs out of bullets. Both players just up to walk away when they see each other, but the spike will catch onto Tub at the very end. So, yeah, it got so damn close. But it's nice damage though.
Hey, that round was spaghetti. Like, what's going on? Bugsy's unloaded her whole share clip at a Yori TP, and we still ended up in a 1v1. That was just crazy. Look, RIMA doing a lot of damage with the bonus there. Only one gun taken over for Dangerous Rose. That's an expensive round. At least they're able to mix in the Yori TP round. We'll see if they have a specific set play that they like to go for with that. Very popular to go for the old B execute or just send the Yoro out on the scouting mission over towards 8. Same start to the round here though. Cypher camp posted up over middle. Couple of players making some steps over there. Dart to elbow. Very early drone here for Tub. Looking for info in middle, gets absolutely nothing. A bit of a misread really, because Dangerous Rose are pretty heavily fortifying mid right now.
Doesn't spot anything.
Who's next?
There's no wall for this cross actually. It's just a straight up jet smoke into the Yoru ultimate. Dimensional Drift gotta spot out every single position of these defenders. The door opens as well. Assistance coming from Yanni, but Micro's the one to find the first kill. Yanni's still here. Opening the door, allowing her a new lane of sight. The spike should be able to get planted. There's a lurk coming in from mid as well. But in a 4 versus 4. Dangerous Rose, they have the dual theft. They can find a kill, but gotta be mainly just the aim duels right here. Comes a jet smoke through. Terran with a great kill onto Tub. The back of the side. Here comes the dual theft. Oh, so many angles to look for. And this crossfire is dangerous to say the least. Bugsy finds first, but the trade from Haiti is good enough. Bless on V2. Another clutch situation. Spotted out by Marine. And the crossfire is perfect. Dangerous Rose. Nice execute. They post up. Second round.
This is exactly why you play the Yoru comp. Early Yoru ult timing, able to scout the entire setup and adjust on the fly. Nice flashes in the mid round as well from Pady, just to be able to disrupt that retake attempt coming in from RIMA, and great little contact setup just to be able to close the 1-on-2 consistently. And that's where all of the damage inflicted on both teams in that last round rears its ugly head. That was a big swing round, and Dangerous Rose with the Yoru ult timing have been able to break the economy of RIMA here.
Time to jump.
Once again, seeming like they want to just stick to this 1-3-1 play every single time. Viper keeping an eye on A main, Cypher's keeping an eye on B. And the rest of the team working as a pack to take a little bit of control in mid here.
Aggressive though, RIMA. Trying to force back any players towards the A main position, but most of them coming towards mid. Flash and a TP. They've gotten top mid control. That's great. Here comes the execute. Freya spotting out one of the defenders, getting a little over-eager now, out of position. The flash is fantastic, but the shots aren't though. Marine will punish Rice. And Tub was spotted as well. Surely they expect her to be somewhere lurking around. Micros in a pretty committed position, but with the battle weaponry, will manage to connect onto that kill. 2 players from this mid position coming in. Of course, the weaker weapons, anything that they could get would be nice. But oh, Micro just hides around the little corner. Drones from that position as well, but managed to get away just in the nick of time. They found the kill towards the CT position. So these last 2 players, an impossible task. The cage as well, just to buy even more time. They have to isolate these dudes somehow. Smoke will allow them a little bit of access.
One enemy remaining.
And the kills though, that's not what they're gonna get. Freya, the little cubby in the corner, picks up the last 2. And Dangerous Rose, a pretty nice mid-round call to adjust and collapse onto that B side.
Yeah, saw the Sova pushed up. That's the power of the 1-3-1. Just keeping an eye on the extremities and being able to adjust as you go.
One enemy remaining.
Lanty kept most of their guns up. I think Dangerous Rose looking quite composed, quite confident in their default on this attacking
Try
side.
not to die.
Now they've got the pit up. A couple of ults being mixed in here. Rice with the Yoru ult going to be able to assist on some of these retake attempts. In fact, Rice making her way down halls this round. So that's going to be a little bit of a change up. It's going to be a pretty nice timing to push, actually. A lot of info for the defense in this round. Double push from the duelists. Able to play retake A now and shift accordingly. Dangerous Rose, once again, this set mid take. Smoke dash in combination with the flash up top mid. And the orb on mid doors gives them a lot of mid control.
Fantasy push though, that's a lot of info, but they're not gonna be here in time. The trip is perfectly placed, the spam coming through. Oh, so close, but Tough is the one to actually find the kill. Now she's in a compromised spot, still finds a player towards main, but Terran with the beautiful trades. They are, well, at least they get control over this B side, and they've
Spike
put
planted.
Micro again towards his mid position. Viper's pit towards their CT. And as the defenders come in from the backlines, they realize this is an unconventional plant spot, but surely it's been rehearsed by Dangerous Rose. How do they deal with this? Dimensional Drift invested by Rice to spot out these positions. Where's the post plant setup coming in? They spot her out. The spam comes through, and it's so successful, but Marine is there for the trade as well. Marine within the pit, within her domain. She finds the second frag, and now it's just onto Rice. Marine with all 3 kills at the very end. She plays it to perfection. Great trades. And a great round coming in again by Dangerous Rose.
I like the idea though, you know, being able to use the Yoru, clear out the pit, come in on this retake in the 3-on-3. I think really you just needed to find the Viper instead of the Jet there. That was really the only small kind of a adjustment you'd want to make, just be able to actually drop that pit instead of just getting the free spam kill on the Jet. Needed to flush out the Viper ASAP. Thought it was a pretty good attempt though from RIMA. Who will now take a timeout. They've got to go back down onto a half buy, and Dangerous Rose, they're looking real dangerous on this attacking side. You know, I was thinking to myself, looking at the teams that made it through Swiss, that this might be a team that wouldn't be as competitive simply because they made it through Swiss with a forfeit win. They went 8-4, and they had by far the lowest round diff out of every team coming into the playoffs here. They only had +5 rounds, so they pretty much went dead even in terms of rounds won and rounds lost across the Swiss stage, whereas most of the other teams, you know, +30, +40, +50, and they're all like 10-4 in map score or better, you know, much more kind of convincing runs through Swiss. But watching this attacking side of Breeze, I feel, you know, we'll see some more maps for them, so I'll reserve my expectations, but at least from these opening couple of rounds, they're looking like a pretty well-drilled team so far.
Yeah, I like their attempt at or at least their mid-execute kind of protocols. You have the smoke and the flash, and then you kind of leave Micro in that little committed position. Although they have to be careful, right? You can't use that strategy too many times in a row, but so far it's been working out pretty nice.
Here.
I mean, yeah, just running the default and conditioning the other team, yeah, definitely do. I'd agree with you. Want to start to see some more adjustments off of that. You can start the round that way and then mix in some different plays. Seems like at the moment they're well aware that this is an anti-eco. They've got the orb deep in nest, keeping an eye on things with the cam.
I wonder if they're expecting a bit of aggression from RIMA, because of course they are on that low buy. Yeti making a bunch of noise. I'm not sure if that's being heard over, but once the noise has been cut though, it's full commitment, I guess, towards this A side. They walk straight into the knives, and yeah, they might want to reevaluate the options. Not the best idea to walk into the Jet with the most powerful ult and weapon in this round. It's a nice pause at the meantime, Pilski. I mean, look at them reassessing their options.
Yeah, I mean, 4-on-5, you're in a bit of a pickle now. You're running into
30
the
seconds
Cypher.
left.
Would really like to see the Yoru TP invested by Rice here for the quicker rotate, just leaning over towards A. And in fact, it's the Yoru TP leaning towards that A site, and the rotate coming in. Shot clears the trip. In goes Page, fake TP, able to take out the Cypher pretty easily. So they've gotten onto the site here, but only 13 seconds to get the plant down.
10 seconds left.
Marine's got a plan, waiting for the wall to go back up. Scampers onto the site. Will just commit and stick to this. Hunter's Fury a bit late though. Not able to deny the plant, but it gets
Player standing.
gets only 1 kill. It's actually Micro on the other side. The other Yoru that's picking up all the frags while the other is being laid down and repositioned all the way towards this box. Surely Tough does not expect it. What a pre-fire coming in the wall bank onto the Sova now in a 1v1. Knows that the Cypher was back of the site, but Freya's wrapped around, sticking the spike. Oh, Freya, do you peek this? Yes, she does. A nice adjustment at the very end as well. Dangerous Rose. Well, it got real dicey towards the end, but thanks to Micro as well as Freya, they close out that round.
Yeah, I'd agree with you though. I mean, earlier timing on that Hunter's Fury probably just ends that round after things get a little dicey there, or a flood to stop the plant. Cypher wasn't really helped out too much there. despite the fact that she was in the back of the side with trips. So could have been a little better for RIMA to secure that round. They do take a lot of guns away from Dangerous Rose, but they've done a great job building up their economy with the way this attack side has been going. So look, back into another gun round here for RIMA. Op comes out deep onto the B main line. It looks like a fast mid to A though from Dangerous Rose here.
He has to just fall back off. That smoke is great. Oh, but they catch up to Bless. But up and above, Boxy lines up the heads. One more needed, but Micro just enough finds the trade. The spike should be able to get down to the side as well. Micro just providing a little bit of an anchor spot from that mid door's position. But in the meantime, Tub has accessed her way all the way from halls into the back lines to the Expector. Around the corner, knife is out. Last player standing, it's just Freya left alone in a clutch yet again, but this time it's up against 3. Found the first, but the op in hand of Yanni surely can secure them access. But Rice is a little bit far away, so they get their running boots on. Freya, can she do it again? Cage in hand, that's all she has to
My
work
ult's
with.
not ready.
You know that she's gonna be in this position.
Last
Phone
player
comes out.
standing.
The P comes through. What a headshot coming in by Freya. Another clutch from the Cypher. 3 kills, 1v3. What a play. Beautiful shots coming through. And yet another round, 6 in a row now for Dangerous Rose.
Perfect movement on the Cypher. That's the play you often putting in a lot of these late round situations. Able to peek the Jet and force the Yoru to stop that half. And then on the second tap, just able to peek out and with that burst aim style. Close that round out. That is a massive clutch from Freya. Breaks the money yet again here from RIMA. So good for 2 if they can complete this anti-eco. I don't think I've ever seen a Viper's Pit here. No one's getting up mid doors. There's a Viper's Pit, Bucky. You're not allowed access to mid doors. So that's sad for all you mid door lovers out there. But you know, outside of that, I don't really think Dangerous Rose probably cares too much about what's going on here.
Oh, the drone clears the wrong position, and now Bugsy is more than confident to just take back this space. The drone spots nothing.
You just need to be like,
wait.
no way you get away with this. Like, they're spending way too much time clearing this. You need to literally look at this and be like, a Viper's Pit on mid doors. Well, I'm just going somewhere else. Like, they look confused by this. You know, they've spent 45 seconds staring at it.
Yeah, Buxy's by herself as well, and she's gained so much control off of that. And she's going aggressive with the Bucky in mid. That just leaves her pit. She's more than confident to say that they're not here, but there's only 2 players here on the A side though. Bless being spotted out by that Your ultimate. Dimensional drift, just trying to body block her into an awkward fight, and I guess it does eventually. Here comes the retake, but with the Bucky in 2 of their hands, it's not the ideal weapon. Especially for these long-range duels. They're going in for the flank. So perhaps RIMA could deal a little bit of damage. Shots coming in from the Sheriff, but again, they're waiting for the flank play to come through. Classic in Buxy's hand is not the best, but there's a gap in the smoke. Oh, just started up damage. The Bucky is here, but so is the flashes. Great flash from Pady. Terran just mopping up the floor with the knives. They don't expect the second flank, but the shots a little less than ideal, and Tub will go down. Things got a little bit weird, but somehow, some way, Dangerous Rose still keep all 5 players standing, and that's 7 rounds now in a row.
Yeah, it's good stuff. Look, they got confused by the Viper ult, but sense prevailed. Just dropped the Dimensional Drift into the B side again. This is exactly the strength of the Yoru comp, and they're playing it very, very well. Just scouting out the positions of the defense and adjusting as they go. Flush out the ladder side of sight, playing around the Cypher trips very well. Loving everything I'm seeing from Dangerous Rose right now. Here's the shock to clear the trips front side of sight. Oh no, opt against it instead. It's going to be the Cypher left on elbow side once again. Slow mid control. RIMA's starting to cotton onto this though, you know. They've got a player on this deep A main line. Orbs on mid doors, fake TP. As Dangerous Rose takes some space off the back of that dart straight up middle here yet again.
Cutting through.
TP in. That's okay. The other TP is going into the back of the site, but RIMA, 2 players to anchor this one. Yanni peeks out from the top of mid. Nest position, finds 2 kills. There's still 1 more though. Dash is popped as well. They don't have to push the issue. They don't have to rush things. It's an awkward fight in the back of the site though. Only 1 more player here. Bless Great spray control.
Where is
Finds the first one. They want to plan right in her face. That is bold coming in. The flank is already here. The micro
down, B.
ends up to be the last one standing, and Tub will connect on that second frag as well. So it's an interesting fight, and I guess credit to Rima, right? Yanni just peeking out of top mid and just disrupts the entire execute.
Yeah, I mean, I think against this mid control style, you need to be pushing the extremities or you need to be crunching mid a little. Would love to see like a mid crunch coordinated from Rima. I think Yanni, you know, that's kind of what you want to do with something like a mid crunch. As they're kind of kicking off the exi, you're able to kind of flood out mid and catch them in transition. And she did that just self-sufficiently, finding the nice little timing with the duelist.
Scanning ahead.
Main control here for Rima. Wall on A should be a big tell. It's the first time you've seen that. So, especially with the Yoru walking down elbow for free here, everything is telling you this is going to be an A side ending here. As Rima, this should be a stack site every day of the week.
Being bit of the timing, Rima has Rice pushing down all the way down B. Yeah, even the Cypher's coming over. Tab has surely seen this gate crash. I would love to break it. I hate that to just stare at it as it's in that corner, but I guess Top trying to play the big brain game. No reaction so far. Just rolls. They don't really like the sound of things, but I guess they really don't have much options. Nowhere else to go. Molly's great, but oh, Yanni and Tub both find kills. Playing discipline in the corner. Tub, brilliant shot, says the anchor. And now it's just left alone to Freya. 1v5. The first is all she's got to get.
Yeah, really nice. Reading the rotations perfectly there for
Last
Rima.
round
The
in
info
the
push
half.
straight down elbow from the Yoru. Nothing in Halls. Viper Wall committed very early to A for Dangerous Rose. Is a massive tell to the defense to hit the rotation timing there. So really probably a bit of an overlooked kind of round for Dangerous Rose. You much, especially after running this mid control every single round so far on attack, you much more would prefer them to use the same opening pieces of util in the round and run the default like they have been and then go into some kind of quicker A timing or mid to A, something like that. Because the way that they kind of sequenced that attacking round, it was just so obvious to Rima that that was going to be an A hit, and you saw the results of that. They just shut that down so quickly. Tub is so sharp, by the way. Like the multi-frags from Tub so far in this series, it's just looking so clean.
If I'm not mistaken, she was playing on the duelist roles in a previous roster last year. So now coming on to Rima as more of the support, initiator role, you can kind of see the duelist aim in her, but she's, got, just a different role. But her aim, does not change. And putting up these kinds of numbers, 14 and 7, is really, really nice to see.
I think most of these rounds that Rima are winning, she's getting a multi-frag.
Right.
From, the A side, from the half-wall position. She's doing very well for herself. Last round here for Dangerous Rose, though. Sova ults there. Going to be a main control off the rip. Rice gets made vulnerable. Somehow allowed to get away with that. Gets hit by the snake bite, but not enough players ready for that peek into A main. So that's big. Yoru ults down in line for Rice. Going to be massive for completing one of these retakes. Hopefully Rice has purchased herself a shorty. Don't want to be Yoru ulting in with an operator. It's not really a great vibe. Dangerous Rose, after losing that pick towards A main, though, they're going to kick it into high gear rather. Call the audible over towards this B site. Still do have the Sova ult ready, and Marine is one multi-frag away from a post-plant pit. Let's see if they can even get in first, though. Tub and Bless fully set up here.
Yeah, surely they have some protocols. You can see Tub already looking to break that dart instantly. Blast with the trips in hand. They both dodge the drone, which is nice. Okay, they break it at the very least. Hunter's free, trying to flush out the attackers as they enter into the site. Yeah, it's done so too. Perfection. Oh, that's an attacker's ultimate, actually. Trying to flush out the defenders. Tub still has hers, but she's just standing her ground. Blessed with 3 kills on the defense. And now Micro left alone. Awkward situation. Dimensional drifts being spotted. How was this awkward too? That's happening, but Yanni jiggles out just enough. The 5th round kind of recovered by Rima at the half.
Yeah, good little recovery there for Rima after big string of rounds on the attacking side for Dangerous Rose. Let's toss it back to Tash and Mika to see what they thought of that half.
I love how this is looking to be a utility showdown, especially with top players like Freya coming into this match. It was exactly why I wanted to highlight her as well, because this is a player that, much like, we had in our earlier series, this is like her debut on this kind of stage, and she's already making such an impression here on Breeze, Tash.
That's right. Eto, another player I really want to highlight was Tub. We saw her play previously, I believe it was Deviant Topaz GC. And now she's making a big impact on this game as well as a Sova. We're really starting to see that flex come through, and it's really showing, especially with Tub's hold on the site. I think she managed to snag 3 while tanking a snake bite and has really good trigger discipline. So you really gotta give her props for that. So now let's talk a little bit more about that match in particular. So when you look at that match in particular, RIMA felt very lost, especially in the first half of the first series of the first half of that first half. Anyways, coming back from that, they were very confused. They couldn't really figure out how exactly to stop this very aggressive play from Dangerous Rose. Dangerous Rose was a team that was very, very okay to go and play separately, walk around, get as much information as they can. In fact, they were even okay to to really just lurk halls if they want to. RIMA while they did win pistol, it was the next few rounds that were very pivotal that they managed to get it back, and it felt like for a long time RIMA were scratching their heads. But after that timeout was when we saw a lot of changes were happening. We saw a lot more aggression coming in from RIMA, even though Dangerous Rose was punishing them. We saw an insane RIMA coming in 2 rounds in a row and sending it down Rice all the way down A main on defense all alone to get information, to really read those rotations. And that information play was key for RIMA to just bring it back. Yes, it is still a 2-round differential, but it is still definitely bringing them back into the game mentally in terms of momentum wise.
And as the sides are going to be switching this time around, I wonder how this info game is going to be played as we continue this match on Breeze, right? And we can see, of course, that RIMA, you can't exactly count them out just yet. Yes, they are a little bit down right now, but it's not by that much. So I would say let's just hold our breath and pass it on over to our casters to see how this map plays out.
Beautiful resilience there for RIMA in the first half after such a big string of rounds thrown on in there by Dangerous Rose. Let's see how the Thai squad does deal with this little bit of a comeback attempt and how they'll do moving on to their defense here, Coldan.
Yes, sir. I think, seeing on how Dangerous Rose had a lot of set plays, a lot of ideas, especially taking mid, I do expect that defense to be quite similar, right? You got your set protocols in place on a map that you have played quite a few times in that Swiss stage. And RIMA, I will hope to see, some sort of default setup coming in from them that might not be just hit B all the same, every single round as we saw on previous map. But here we go into the first round. It's a very aggressive pistol from Dangerous Rose. They want to push the issue, running straight down of B main. The flash has been, it's been so long, it's still flashed out.
Poison's off.
But yeah, Dangerous Rose, what a push on the pistol round. Not expecting that. They have control over the spike as well. Bugsy and Yanni, last 2 ones standing. Really caught them off guard right here, and they're stuck in this mid position. Yanni's being spotted out. Bugsy's around the corner as well, so they don't have any opportunities to break out of this absolute pinch.
Yeah, they're out for blood, and complete crunch, flawless round win there for Dangerous Rose. The elbow aggression works out an absolute treat. Now they go into the anti-eco here, starting off this defensive side very, very well. Gonna have to see some more resilience out of RIMA once again here, as they're gonna start on the worst end of things. Couple share of purchases, see if they can get some economic damage done. A lot of Spectres on Breeze from Dangerous Rose. I am not a fan, to be honest, of the Spectre Ares buy. There's a reason why you see a lot of Guardian, Marshall, Outlaw purchases on this map, some Bulldogs. Not a lot of long-range weaponry being mixed into the buy here, anti-eco.
Aqua has a ghost downhauls, that is interesting. Alright, brings out the heavy weaponry. Scan available? Just Shock Dart just for a little bit of damage. Hasn't noted that there's literally everybody there. Deals a boatload of damage. As the smoke goes down, do they want to push into Micro? She's getting a little bit curious. She wants to clear out all these angles again, but that's the drone and the dart though, but without any pressure on any other side of the map.
Flash.
Beautifully done. The pre-fire's there for at least the first, but that's information guarded. Freya picks up the second, and they're all just scrambling around trying to find opportunities in the weird crossfire setup. Marine, the ghost more than enough. A bit of a flip molly, but still. Rice and Bless. Just hoping for the defenders to peek out. Maybe just walk into the crosshairs. The spike in hand. Where do they want to go? It looks like B is the port of call, and they actually can slip away without any contact though. Reclear
30
coming in
seconds
from
left.
dangerous roads down the halls from the attacker position, and that means the B side is completely given over. Bless tries to fight, and so does Rima. Sorry, so does Rice, but little does she know that the B side is completely free. Could get the spike down, and if she does, I think that's a great injection of cash. 15 seconds left. Has to go and commit eventually. So
10 seconds left.
Yeah, just gonna try
HP
to
to boot.
take one more gun, I think, rather than going for the plant here. Oh, 1 millisecond more, and Marine goes down there. But Dangerous Rose able to deal with that anti-eco. I like that play from Rima though. Cycling the orb twice, little pop flash out of it, actually caused quite a lot of damage in a round like this, given that they didn't bring much into it. So respect where respect's due. That's a fair bit of economic damage done. And now this is why I hate Spectre purchases on Breeze. Because you go into a gun round, a bonus round against guns with Spectres on Breeze. Like, what are you going to do with this?
Time to
like,
jump.
no, just not fight mid the entire round, I guess. We're just ignoring like 60% of the map. All good.
Yeah, tuck in the corner and hope for the best, I guess. You
It
see the
might
players
work.
on B just playing in the tight corner, right? But I think it's pressure on Rima, right? They have to find out what's the stack, what's the setup. Whether they are aware of all these close range weapons, that's a different issue, but still, slow play coming in from them.
I like what they're doing so far. Cam on elbow. They've had a little bit of a look
Portal
towards B
closed.
main. Starting to clear some angles. Jet's got on the deep info line towards mid doors. Your Vipers quite deep up halls. Sova can re-clear A main. Joined up with Jet. So we'll see where they're going to end here. They're still fairly split. 50 seconds to go. They need to get a bit of a wriggle on here.
Camera taken out. Cage triggered.
Well, at the very least. Oh, Freya, a little bit awkward, but the cage will allow her to disengage. Rima, yeah, they have a lot of information, but where's the commitment? Okay, it looks like the spike is headed towards that A side. They've cleared out all of that space.
Oh, this is what I'm
The spike
talking
going
about.
down.
We're retaking A with Spectres on these lines. Like, how is this even going to work?
It ain't. That's
Buried.
great shout to Pady. Not
Cage
expecting that
triggered.
position. They've looked up. They've got so much control. There's a double mid look coming in. These long range fights are just not favoring the.
taking the
It picks up the classic instead. It's gonna be a bloodbath. Yeah, Bless, Rise, all of them in the kill feed. Just Micro left alone. They know exactly where she is.
It was you or me.
Oh, I'm sorry. Like, I don't mean to laugh, but like, it's just ridiculous to me. Like, especially Dangerous Rose. Like, they've played this map a couple of times. Their attack side was really good. I was enjoying it, but that was extremely questionable. Put that in the back of our minds, though. Rima, very nice first gun round anti-bonus. 4 guns kept over.
Right here.
Here's the repurchase for Dangerous Rose. Please, no. I saw the Spectre for a second for Pady. We've learned our lesson, though. No, don't do it to me. Don't do it to me. On the Yoru,
We
it's
have a
fine, though.
stinger
You can-
instead. We'll take the.
Ah,
Okay,
wait,
no,
okay,
it's
okay.
Vandal.
We're just molding over the buys. We'll just throw all that analysis out the window and talk about what our favorite gun is. Anyway, same start to the round rather for Rima. Jet's taking a look at mid. We'll get a cam up into elbow, into
was
probably a
waiting.
double peek from the defense. Yep. And they're dealing with this quite well on the attacking side. They've, spotted out where the elbow push has come through, and they've called a really fast pivot here for Rima, actually. Back towards the A side. They should be able to get into A pretty easily once again. And for Dangerous Rose now, it's going to come down really to how their retake is looking.
Feeling it.
This time with much better weaponry, though, to be fair.
Nice dart at the back of the site. Nobody's here though. Dangerous Rose playing a full retake setup. I like this plant spot as well. Gives the postman a lot more opportunities, a lot more options to play from. As Dangerous Rose They attempt this retake, but with presence towards mid as well. I love that RIMA always plays players towards mid. They have a player lurking in halls as well that could disrupt the retake really efficiently. See how Dangerous Rose navigate this. Oh, it doesn't even get started. Bless finds a beautiful timing. The ult investor. Here comes a lurk from halls. This is textbook plays. RIMA looking clean. It's a near flawless round. Puts a 7th on the board.
I mean, that's what happens when you let the other team just walk into A for free. Get a nice open plant, put absolutely zero pressure on them. Like, unless your retake is extremely well drilled and you're doing your due diligence, clearing the map, you know, clearing for the halls lurk, clearing for the mid lurk, then things are very difficult for you. There's a million, you know, you're running through the forest, there's a million little branches that you can fall over on, and that's the perfect example of it. Dangerous Rose, economy reset now. RIMA with great money on the attacking side. And they are looking like the much better team right now after those initial couple of rounds on attacking side. Breeze here for Dangerous Rose.
Yeah, they got a couple of nice strats in tow. Here comes the B execute. Yanni misses the updraft, but all good. There's just one player at the back of the site. Left away, but oh, Freya, nice pick onto Bugsy. Off the trip gets the kill in the end. Rarely see that situation happen, but Freya's still here. Cam is spotted out so much information. Couple of shots into Yanni will take her down just a little bit, but here comes the retake, and it's all 4 players coming in from the backlines, and Yanni at the very least proactive, taking initiative, got information, and the plans for the back of the site. It's more than ideal for where they're playing from, but do they expect all of the players coming in from the backlines?
Yeah, they pivoted very well. Now crossfire between backside, half wall. You can see Dangerous Rose taking a lot of time clearing out positions they're expecting RIMA to be playing in. Yanni going to double up over on backside with the Cypher here. Flash kicks off the retake. Player advantage here for Dangerous Rose, and that's a beautiful combo of the Snakebite and the Dart, applying a lot of pressure to the defense here in the post plan, but Rice is making the difference on the defuse now is Pady. Yanni's going to cancel that, and there's just not enough time to get this done. Good damage from Dangerous Rose coming in on the retake there, but RIMA's going to get themselves another round.
Well, yeah, it's just the low buy, but it still deals so much damage. I mean, only one player standing. Thankfully, the economy is still in a decent position, so they can go for that rebuy. But yeah, decent, very, very decent eco round coming in from them.
Yeah, almost put it together on that half bite. Respect for that retake, especially the way they layered the util towards backside there. That put a lot of pressure on RIMA, who now have another Yoru ult. That's what I love about this comp. Every time, like, it's just like they need to make it more ult orbs or something. Like, I swear to God, you just have so many Yoru ults on attack, and then you just like play a attacking side round on easy mode. Send ult maybe in, have a little bit of a look around, see what the go is. I think that's what they're gonna do.
Who's next?
A split coming through, doors opened. Player in the side, Marine has got to evacuate. Really compromised spot, and yeah, she has evacuated the side, but they're still wanting to push even further. Rice gotten control over Orange. Gotten control over Hall as well. That's a lot of space given over to RIMA. But Pady, the one to open things up. A kill coming in from the mid position. Micro using the drone, but Yanni hears this all but cancels right the opportune moment. Knows there are 2 players watching. Nice shot coming through. The scan as well. Somehow the movement is sublime. Closes the door on Micro as well. A shot coming through at her feet. And a 9th round. We're all tied up. RIMA with really nice attack ideas.
Yeah, they broke the money of Dangerous Rose again here. This attacking side has been fantastic. Definitely need attack pulls here. Got to change up the momentum. Honestly thought Dangerous Rose approached that retake much better this time around. They got rid of Bless in mid with the double flank. The drone was clearing out the halls lurker. That's really how you kind of want to be tackling things. Deal with the players on the extremity first before you attempt that site retake. Especially if you're giving that much space. But I don't know. We obviously missed what happened around yellow, but I think, again, it was a classic case of some of these RIMA players just multi-fragging up a storm. Tup was playing that pivot from yellow. Yanni was dancing around in halls and made that post plant an absolute nightmare for Dangerous Rose. I think for them, they really need to come up with a solution for the fact that this A side is being given for free. You know, the mid to A's are looking a little bit too easy. RIMA's being able to get themselves into post plants. And at some point, as a team who continually plays retake on A and tries to approach the round in that way, if you keep losing rounds to that exact style, then something has got to change.
Yeah, and they're so close to the ultimates as well. One off the Sova, one off the Viper for this defense. So at the very least, they might have something to bring into the next round. I don't know if they want to invest in this, if they can find a couple of kills or maybe the ult orb, but it's like they're just gonna focus on towards mid. Meanwhile, the attackers double stack towards halls. Fast mid take actually coming through. Dangerous Rose gonna find nobody there.
Yeah, it's just a 2-3 hall split here for RIMA, which means it's going to be once again a retake attempt here for Dangerous Rose. Free sight. Going to start working on the flank. Going to have to do something to probably clear halls here, or that's going to be quite difficult for them to be navigating. Trip is going to give a little bit of heads up here to RIMA that the flank is coming in.
Oh. Alright, that's just a clone. It's even fooled me for a bit. But either way, here comes the triple flag from A main. Taking in control from mid as well. But Rice got that backstun. And they're getting all the kills. So easy. 1, 2, 3.
Player standing.
And all the kills just fall in the way of RIMA. It's just Pady left alone. Barely any HP to boot. Basically one shot away from death. The shock dart will do the damage. Tub working her geometry. And it's a 10th round. RIMA on a rampage. That adaptation, a little bit of a change up. They put heavy mid previously, but this time they completely give it up. They avoid the stack and they come in for this flank.
Yeah, I mean, but Dangerous Rose, this in the gun round is where you need to see an adaptation. We need to see a main aggression. We need to see them take halls or something like that. Like, they cannot keep letting RIMA just walk into the A site for free. Got to get the op out, do something about it.
They've got so many ults, right? Surely they have something cooking up with this one.
I mean, you could Viper ult A main, you can kick off the retake with the Yoru ult, and then rip the Hunter's Fury off the info. There's a lot of different things you can do. I like this adaptation, though. Orb in A main, op on the deep line. This could be a freebie for Taran if it's not cleared properly, but the Sova's just going to kick it off with the drone. Does the Viper shoot that in time? She does.
Lovely. Ooh. Alright, getting away just in the nick of time. Tildy was out for the Sova.
Yeah, they've cancelled the A execute. Orbs up, Snakebite's down. Here's the drone looking for info in halls. Doesn't go deep enough to clear Bugsy though. This is where RIMA, after seeing that A main control, they've walked into the site every single time for free. They're going to call the cancel and pivot back towards middle because they feel like they'll find some space there.
Bugsy has done this so many times, just walking up of halls by herself.
She needs to wait a little longer this time then after maybe the B pressure comes in to find impact. Otherwise, she's going to definitely get checked here. Once again, they're going to put pressure on mid to A, but with the spike left towards B, I think it's all just fake and pressure here, trying to pull the rotates, and that's exactly what they've done. Look at the 5th rotation out from Dangerous Rose. It's just Yoru solo on B here.
AD with everything to do in such a compromised position, teleports to the back of the site. And with the trips available from the Cypher, AD can just maneuver around for a little bit longer. The wall dropping down. 10 seconds left. They have to get the spike planted. Spike eventually coming into the site. What a great clear coming in, and with barely any time left. But the Hunter's Fury coming through. Oh, but the spike eventually does get placed down. Micro with a frag onto Rice. Meanwhile, alert coming in from the Viper. The retakes coming in for Dangerous Rose. Can they muster anything? Bugsy being checked for. They spot her out, but she still manages to find that frag. Taran up in hand and an Odin to boot on Micro. How do they manage this? First one's in. Micro 3 kills already. The backlines, they want to swarm less. They want to surround her. But Bugsy's here. They're running and gunning Sova on for the ace. And Micro with the Sova Odin ace on the retake. Running and gunning like she does not give a care in the world.
Ace.
That evens up the scoreline 10 to 10.
What am I watching, mate? What is this? What is going on right now? Oh my god.
10 seconds
I guess if it works.
Bro, I thought
ahead of the
TF2 was dead, but like Heavy is alive and well, just running around with a bloody minigun.
player
What are you doing today? Oh, that's what it takes for Dangerous Rose to get around. I mean, I'm all here for it. I like the approach from RIMA. I just feel like they didn't do it quick enough. They're a bit too indecisive getting into B there. But I like the approach for sure. Put a lot of pressure on A. They pulled the rotates back across, but they just couldn't get themselves comfy enough on B because they didn't give themselves enough time. Regardless, though, got a lot of ults up. Artis Fury invested in that round, but still a fair bit of ults here for Dangerous Rose. A main control taken by RIMA. Little bit of a look towards elbow. Surely going to be a cam any moment soon. It's actually a drone to kick off.
next?
It's a little bit of pressure here. In comes the Yoru ult from Rice. Scouts out the entirety of the A site. Once again, looking to put pressure on A. Looking to draw rotations across from the other side of the map. And then potentially try to get into B on the timing. But you're not seeing too much of a overreaction for Dangerous Rose. Cypher rather is leaning towards A. Sova's backside of halls. They are over-rotated. I thought the Cypher was going to drift back across the B, but it's just Pady in the back of the site here.
And once the wall, there's no wall available. Luxie's in a lucky position, but it doesn't really matter because Pady's the only one here, but maybe it does. Just the
30
Stinger
seconds
finds the
left.
first and exits out. Site's been given over and Rice coming in from that mid lurk as well. Still got a second line of Bugsy
Spike
on that mid lurk,
planted.
but that mindful later on. The fight is on the side itself. The Odin still here, wreaking havoc around the corner. The jiggle peek to the Odin's crazy. Still manages to find the kill. But the trade's back from Bugsy coming in from the mid lurk as well. Pady try as she might. At the very end, Rima stabilized. 3 players still standing. It is 11 for the squad.
Yeah, good stuff from RIMA. Once again, pulling rotation back across to that A site with only really a Yoru ult. Just tickling those players around yellow, making them worried that the Yoru's coming for them. It's going to break the money of Dangerous Rose. Now RIMA a chance to potentially get themselves map point here after a bit of a rough start. I think they were down like 3-7 at one point. This game's completely flipped on its head.
Aggression this time on this low buy round, but expected and read like a book. Rice with 2 beautiful kills. Freya, classic long range, has to just fall back to a safer line. Yanni gonna be killing Micro in the backline instead of Freya, so she's counting a lucky start. For how long?
Enemy remaining.
Until this time. Marine. 1v5 with the Sheriff.
Flawless.
And as expected, just a formality, 12 clean garnered RIMA, now match point.
4 ults up as well. Would love to see like a quick I mean, I'm already seeing the pings. Exactly what I want to see here is start to the back wall, jet dash on in with the knives. And Sova ult, something like that. An ult combo. But any variation of an A hit will probably do here after a couple of successful B rounds. A Dangerous Rose really feels like they're going back to their old default after losing a couple of picks towards the B side, a couple of rounds towards the B side. It's now back to the double elbow push and the Viper and the whole retake A kind of approach. Problem with that being that, you know, we're probably going to see a pit on A or some kind of very difficult post plant. We'll see. There's a progression of yet again here from Bugsy.
Bugsy's been given so much liberty to just walk up here without any fight. But maybe Micro, this time, when they need her the most, sitting within the Viper smoke, announces her position at the very most. But yeah, missed the timing though, and yeah, here comes the pit. What's an interesting pit against this retake. There's nowhere for them to go. They have to
Spike
enter
planted.
this domain of green, disgusting decay. And you can see they're trying to go through mid instead, but Yanni's there to meet them back. Answered. How do they navigate this? How do they warp around this Viper's pit? It doesn't even matter! Yanni, Rice, both finding those kills.
enemy
Hunter's
remaining.
Fury as well to just flush them even further. Additional on top of the decay. Micro finds 2
Outrun
kills, but it's
attackers
Yanni
win.
to close out the map. It's 13-10. Rima's attacking side looked pristine.
Yeah, and even nice recovery from them at the end of the defensive half. I really think after, you know, losing a couple of rounds to Dangerous Rose first half, losing Pistol, they really adjusted well. The calling was absolutely fantastic on Rima, and they definitely earned that W there on Breeze, which I think was their first official on Breeze. Definitely didn't look like it. They looked pretty well drilled to me. Let's see what the panel thought, though. Back to Mika and Tash.
I 100% agree, Pilski. I mean, like, again, you just reminded me actually that this was their first, like, official match on Breeze. And you're absolutely right. It looked like, it looked like this was one of their prime maps. And you wouldn't have guessed it from, what information is out there. And we have to talk about that comeback. I absolutely love it when teams are just like, it's not over until it's over. Every single round, they will bring out their best. And Rima GC did just that, Tash.
Yeah, that's right. I think that for Rima GC, it looked very weak in the first half. There was a lot of questions in their mind how exactly to stop the aggression coming through from Dangerous Rose. But I love the fact that they were able to bring it back toward the second half or towards the end of the first half. It was really good because they were I can really tell that based on just on the this map itself how heavily momentum heavy this Rima GC is on how exactly they play. They need to win 2-3 rounds in a row to really just take it back, and it's really good once they've managed to figure it out. It's very similar to some of these teams that have, I would say, a very slow warm up. They need to figure out what exactly is in the bag or how exactly the strats are being played by Dangerous Rose, and they can finally bring it back. Now coming in toward the second half, it was I would say pretty weird, especially on round number 14 where it was an eco and you saw 5-man push into halls from Rima, which was like, okay, what is going on here? It was very strange. I mean, we did see a few strange rounds from Rima, but I think they were just trying to figure out how exactly to break the defenses and what information they can find out in each round was going to come forward. And I think that it looks very strong for them, especially on the attack side. But mostly, yes, it is because of Rima themselves being aggressive, but mostly also on the weakness of Dangerous Rose, excuse me, which is that they always were getting A side for free. Now, based on the scoreboard, I wouldn't be surprised to see these multi-frag moments come through, because if you were to see Rima rounds that they've won mostly relied on hero plays. You can see on Tub, from Bugsy, from Rice, even Bless, on how exactly they were able to get those picks either toward the mid side or the side itself where they were anchoring.
I love how, again, these teams lately have been using Yoru as like a second initiator that can suddenly turn into a duelist at a moment's notice, right? And we saw that come out with Rima JC as they were on the attacking side. And we do have to hand it to Microbrill though, because
That ace.
the Odin plays, the ace,
That was
the
disgusting.
Odin play.
That was ridiculous.
You just have to love it.
Never in my life expected to see a run and gun with an Odin on
Odin.
a retake. What is going
Oh my
on?
God. I mean, you have to give it to them.
I do.
Have to give it to them. And it was certainly a play that will live forever in my head.
Oh, for real,
Microbuild, I'm
same.
going to remember you for that. And you do have players like that. I love that they're willing to take the risk for that. That
Yeah.
says a lot about them and their roster. And come on, 10-13, that is a very close scoreline. The rounds were going back and forth. This was a very good match for both of these teams, but we have to give it to Tub. No, there was no run and gun with the Odin on the side of Tub, but there was so many good plays. And not just that, Tub was also unafraid to stay in the back lines, but when when it came time to actually show herself or make a play, she was there.
I mean, what makes Tup so interesting is the fact that she is able to flex into this role from duelist to an initiator is number one, and number two, the fact that she has very good trigger discipline. She's able to just really wait it out, and her anchor on a site is immaculate with the Sova on top of that. We've seen so many times where she's able to just really tank out some utility, able to wait it out, able to just really hold on to see how many people she is able to get on top of that. But I would say that a lot of these moments as well were made not only just by Tup, but also from players like Rice, who is just unafraid to just push out main and get this information. A lot of the times these push outs were very massive, not only for the information, but also to just give the orb to allow them to get into that dimensional drift. Regardless, I think we're gonna go on a quick break. After this, more of the game changers as Southeast Asia. We'll be right back. Do not go anywhere.
Leaving area. Defeated.
One enemy remaining.
Three gone.
One enemy remaining. One enemy remaining.
teleport.
One enemy.
Tripwire destroyed. Taken out. My ult. It was you or me.
One enemy remaining. Inside.
Idiot.
10 seconds left. Last player standing. One enemy remaining.
Back up. Anyone else?
One
Welcome back to Valorant Game Changer Southeast Asia, and we are down to what could be our final map of the day, Tash. The question is, can RIMA GC close it out, or will Dangerous Rose prove to be more dangerous? And could this be following your prediction of a 3-game or 2-1 rather?
Whew, hard to say because as we go into this particular map, it's going to be very, very interesting. Now, RIMA GC, I mean, again, reminding you guys that they have played this map quite a lot. The fact that they came quite close against, that Dangerous Rose came quite close against them was also a statement play in itself to say that they were already very much prepared to go against RIMA GC on Breeze itself. Now, for Sunset, this is RIMA's map pick, and both teams have played this map 3 times each. But the interesting part about RIMA is that they have actually gone up against, I would say, a lot more interesting teams. One of the teams that RIMA GC had actually taken out was For Fun, which is a team of players who have competed before previously in GC APAC. Hannah, Zini, Exekis, Chloe, those are names that I think we are all very, very familiar with. And they managed to go into overtime against the team, so it was very, very close. Now, coming into, so the other maps are a little bit more of a landslide, 13-3 and 13-9 against Sync Pink and then Eclipse. But for the side of Dangerous Rose, while they have played this map 13 times as well, one of their losses were actually quite terrifying. It was a 1-13 loss to Nana and friends. The other 2 they did manage to win though. But so it comes back to the idea of like, when you lose hard, do you learn hard is also going to be the question. So it's hard to say who is going to be taking this map in particular.
But I gotta get the sense that like you're saying that RIMA GC is kind of forged through tougher fires or like
Yeah,
hotter
I
fires
agree
to come
with you.
out of Sunset, right?
Yeah.
And I think as well as we noted earlier that they are a very momentum heavy team, and the momentum is very clearly in the favor of RIMA GC right now with that win earlier. So it seems to imply that like we may favor RIMA GC, but perhaps this reset is exactly what Dangerous Rose needs, right? Because
Yeah.
as we saw, the score was very, very close. The rounds were incredibly close as well. And Dangerous Rose, they're not afraid to think outside of the box. They're not afraid to suddenly make a play that is off the book, which is what I love and I absolutely respect about them. RIMA GC, though, they have some heavy hitters. I mean, we did see how much firepower they could pack, and I think that it's something that of course both teams have to look out for.
Yeah, I mean, excuse me, when you look at comps in particular, I also find it very interesting as well because for Dangerous Rose, they like running that Sova, which gives them a lot of hard info. But in terms of Initiate, they're running this double duelist comp with an Omen. So in terms of initiating, you have the Omen who can run sort of like Initiator with the Paranoia, as well as the Smokes. And then you also have another Initiator slash Duelist, which is going to be a Phoenix. Phoenix has been one of those agents that's been played in Sunset, and I think he gives a lot of value to teams in terms of like not only just taking up space and also playing aggressive. The run it back is also great for getting information and also getting those early picks without losing another body in the team. But also that's flashes, that's initial flashes, which are, I feel like, one of the hardest flashes to dodge in the game other than Yoru's. But when you look at the other end of the spectrum, RIMA GC, they have a very, I would say, a very interesting comp. Sorry, was I talking about RIMA GC? Oh, yeah, I was talking about RIMA GC as well, running almost a very, very similar comp. But instead of a Sova, they're running that Gecko, which honestly I prefer because that Gecko provides a lot of value in terms of the Thresh, in terms of the Dizzy Blind, in terms of the Mosh Pit to clear angles as well. The Thresh as well can go inside the site, clear everything. If there's no one there, you can always bring the Thresh back to pick it up. And the utility feels like it's never ending. Sometimes you can use up to 3 times in a round and you can still get away with that, which is honestly very terrifying.
Yeah, it's because of like all these little nooks and crannies that Sunset has, right? And Gecko, it's his home court, so that these two were kind of built with the other in mind. You have all of these little corners where you could just basically pick up your fun little friends once again, and
Yeah.
that's why Gecko is just like so useful and so effective on Sunset. So you're absolutely right. I do agree with you. Just a little bit against the score. It's really the factor that they have, right? How far can they push it? Will Micro Bilk once again bring out the Odin and come and run and gun into the site? It's a possibility. I mean, like Micro Bilk does run Phoenix sometimes on this, so I think we shouldn't rule that out.
I mean, it definitely wouldn't be to be ruled out. But honestly, I'm gonna be real with you. Looking at agent selects, I wouldn't be surprised if we're gonna be seeing the same comps used. Unless, of course, because again, reminding that that Swiss was just last week. There we go. The same comps
Hey.
coming out forward. We're not surprising here. Personally, I think I'm gonna be expecting a lot of aggression toward mid, especially toward Tiles side. Tiles has been massive, especially if you have one lurk forward. I wouldn't be surprised if it's going to be the Omen doing that, or even the Phoenix at this point. It's going to be very interesting to see how they are. I mean, we saw some interesting changes in trips today, especially from a lot of the Cypher plays. I think out of the 3 maps played, every map felt like I think that was all Cyphers. So it's gonna be interesting to see how exactly each Sentinel will be adjusting from this as well.
So this Raze and Phoenix combo as well, it's like it screams push, right? It screams
Yeah.
go forward. So we're gonna see how hard these teams can go forward as we step into Sunset. And I think that, right now we have our caster standing by, but I think that these teams are so ready, especially since reminding everybody once again that this is an elimination match. So for the Dangerous Rose, just how much more dangerous can they be with their backs against the wall? We'll throw it to Koldan and to Pilski to find out.
Thanks a lot, Analyst Desk. Yes, it's a lot of pressure to have lost your map pick and be down 0-1 with absolutely nowhere to go here, Coldan. Let's see how Dangerous Rose deals with that on the pick of Sunset. Both of these teams have at least played it a couple of times, so that's good news.
Yeah, it is reassuring that at least, they are going to a map that they are pretty comfortable on. Of course, the desk mentioned, right, that RIMA GC did have a pretty strong win up. Oh, I think I was muted right there. Okay.
The stream could hear you,
welcome.
so that's the main
The stream
thing.
can hear me.
The stream can hear you. That's
The
important.
stream can hear me, but hey, I was just mentioning, right, that RIMA GC actually had a pretty strong win up against, well, not a strong win. It was still 14-12, but it was a win against a strong team. And I think going into this matchup, we've seen a lot of individual strengths coming in from RIMA. They have great executes, they have great set plays that they have, and of course they have great players. I mean, Tub, one of those as well. I think she is really looking good in this series so far. So I'm excited to see how these two teams will go up against each other. In terms of comps, though, we have the Sova versus the Gecko. I'm curious to see, or at least to hear, what you think about these two differences in the agents.
Look, I think, the Sova has seen a lot of popularity on this map because Cypher is so popular. It's really good at breaking the trips, and obviously, at least internationally, I think the Phoenix play is getting inspired a lot by Loud at the moment. The Sova play, you've seen that from a lot of teams, but obviously Heretics at some of the recent international events, Rians was pretty outstanding on the Sova, and you've seen the power that agent can have on a map like Sunset. I think for the Gecko, it's something that sees a lot of popularity at the moment. You see Sen run that, or a lot of teams, in fact, run the Gecko at the moment, just cycling the Dizzy to get that A main control. And obviously the Thrash is fantastic on this map. So look, we'll see what ends up being the better of the two options. It really, comes down to how the teams play it. The core of their comp is more or less the same, but Gecko and Sova's utility is quite different.
All right. Interesting to see how these two teams get ready for each of their defense and attacking sides respectively. RIMA GC, I took a little look at the stats, right? And the attacking side actually looked pretty solid so far. So I'm excited to see what they have in store for us. Looks like initial mid control being garnered. Door immediately closed though. 80 jumping out that recon dart, but it's not going to be able to scan anything. Oh, I say that. Nice jinx.
Got the one little scan on Tiles. Would have liked to see the recon bot hold a little longer, at least until they start breaking the door or something like that. There's the re-smoke, dark cover towards top mid. Rice.
Oh, wow.
Gonna creep up inside the smoke and the camera. Keeping an eye on top middle. Has actually tagged one player. Here's the push through A main, diving into Tiles now. The flash in combination with the paint shells. Reactive paranoia though is absolutely beautiful from Bugsy. Ends up going 1-for-1. There's the push on top mid from RIMA. They've been able to get a pick there. And after all said and done, an absolute mess. We end up in a B site after plant. Retake here for Dangerous Rose through top mid.
Yeah, and I love where they're planting as well. They know that they have control over the CT position. The last two players tagged down to such low HP already. Marine, double smokes and a paranoia. Could potentially flush out a couple of positions, but this up-down setup, yeah, they know exactly where both of them are coming from. Maybe they don't, maybe they just saw one player, but some shots should reveal where both are coming from. Terran on just barely any HP. Yeah, shut out of the round. RIMA with a great start so far. And just around the corner.
One enemy
job.
remaining.
And Rice, great swing off that contact. Terran with 3 kills, but not enough. RIMA pulls their first after really cool pistol round strat.
Yeah, well done from them. Let's see, Dangerous Rose gave it a good crack, and I like the approach, taking that space on A that was given to them.
One enemy remaining.
Try to get a little bit of a tiles wrap on, but it doesn't end up working out for them. Good little move in the moves in the mid round there for RIMA really make the difference. So anti-eco now on the attacking side for RIMA. Want to keep their guns up. Rice is going to hold on to the Ghost on the Phoenix, interestingly enough. See how much orb farming we get here from both of the Phoenixes. Is something where, as the defense here on Sunset, you definitely can have some setups where you're able to potentially farm an orb. That's an interesting use of the paint shells. Don't think I've seen that one before. Maybe try to break the Cypher trip or just do a little bit of chip damage. Paint shell is such a valuable piece of util. I don't think it's the kind of thing you should really be just chucking away willy-nilly. I think RIMA
I guess. Sorry, I was just saying, yeah, RIMA just opting not to go into that. Maybe didn't really like the setup that probably being set up right there.
Yeah, I think they just see the dark cover and the paint shells, and that's enough to say we could probably just go back towards B here.
Alright, Freya playing off the site, no trips to work with. A really nice blue caustic in hand, but shouldn't be able to find too many more kills. Bugsy on the look as well. Hearing all these footsteps up mid, does she want to swing it though? That's the question. Don't want to give away too many weapons away. Just gonna let them break the door, and finds a beautiful timing on the last player. Paranoia. Hop, swing out of the knife, but all good. They're stuck within this market position. Nowhere left to run. Flash comes through, and they're just pushing the issue even further. Freya, said classic, makes it work. Bugsy finds a nice timing to swing off as they try to go for that retake. 3 players still standing. RIMA, a solid second round.
Yeah, very good stuff. Only really losing 1 gun, and I think the Phoenix just had a Ghost, so not too big of a deal there. Oh, looked like Rice did actually have a primary weapon, so maybe watching a little close up might have been more of an expensive round than I thought. Down to 2 sheriffs around the 3 saved weapons though, and here's the first buy for Dangerous Rose. Seen a lot of different stars on Sunset lately, and it looks like Dangerous Rose, the first gun round is going to be a mid-walk. Contesting tiles quite heavily. It's going to be a fight right off the rip here. Rice taking contact, Micro to find that opening pick, and they continue to dive into tiles here. A lot of pressure now on Yanni, trying to hold on and wait for some support from her teammates, and doesn't feel like she's got any, so will instead just fall away.
The initial fight coming through. RIMA, I don't know if they want to go back into this setup. It's a pretty dangerous one. You got a Phoenix raise as well as Omen, and yeah, just dark cover, just to disengage, and they're out of there. Now RIMA, they have to go and re-clear this entire portion of the map. They have no idea where the defenders are. Still a dark cover there down mid, and that gives, at least poses a lot of questions. Where could they have been?
Shift now in the rotations here. Dangerous Rose, happy with that pick on tiles. Reposition from both of the duelists over towards this A side of the map. Gonna re-aggress over on A main side. Take some space over there. 30 seconds and they've cleared B. They've cleared A main rather.
Left.
Can be pretty happy that this is not going to be an A fight. At least that's what you would think. Taran able to take the Cypher out of the equation. They've got such deep control. The attackers with only 20 seconds have got no space at all. In goes the Paranoia, but they've got no time.
Surely, there's no time for even going. Yeah, it's just gonna peter out. Surely, the defenders just gotta swing off of this. They don't have time to just line up all their utility. Bugsy with 2 kills, but the round is already lost. Spike's not in her hands. Neither is her HP. Barely surviving. Has to go for a pick. And somehow is gonna stay alive. Okay. At least brings a weapon into the next round. But still, I think that early fight towards mid really messed things up for RIMA. They had no idea where they wanted to commit to. A bit of indecision.
Yeah.
And credits to Dangerous Rose right there.
Yeah, that's where you really need your RGL to just take control of the mid round and have a really clear call after that mid contact's taken. You know, it doesn't matter what you do. You can re-clear the space. You can, after seeing that many players in mid, call the audible, try to pivot towards one side of the map. But you just got to decide on something instead of just fumbling around for 20, you know, to 50 seconds. There's a shot combo into B main. 3-man aggression on either side. Going the way of RIMA so far, diving back behind the Cypher trip to safety. Haiti gets pushed off the line. In goes the Thrash. It's going to clear out the site and break the trip on close after being sent into market. Looks like RIMA wants to try to take control of this B site.
I think the trip is still live. No one was able to break it, so maybe a bit of hesitation to go back into the site. They don't have the utility to break the trip.
Yeah, so Razor's dead.
Yeah, that alone buys them enough time. Okay, finally they get it done, but that's the cue for the Paranoia to come in. The defense is just stringing out all the utility. The re-smoke comes in. They don't really have much area to move around with. The Omen on Bugsy coming back. Team up with her squad. Meeting with the smoke.
Don't mind this. Waiting for the smoke to fade. They have the numbers. Trip's dead. There's the progression smoke. Trying to cut off the info line there of the Omen. Going to tap the spike here. Bait out a peek from the Omen on site. Patey pushed back over on market side by the Paranoia. The patience has paid off for RIMA. That's a 3B site.
I love it. I mean, RIMA looked like they were out of it, but the contact play off the smoke dissipate, and now Patey, Freya, what utility do they have? Basically just this recon dart, maybe a drone. There's no information given away. Nobody's peeking. And they've got a flank coming in from mid as well. Bugsy, they have no idea, no clue in the world. Easy first kill. Freya gets spotted out as well. And surely there's no way back into this. Bugsy with 3. An amazing mid-round pause. And RIMA re-aggress with great success.
It's one of those things where you're playing, if you play these comps with reactive util, I mean, playing contact heavy, something that can work out really well for you, even just off the bat, but in the mid-round like that with the player advantage, something that Loud do really well at the moment. They just walk around the map and take dry aim duels. Teams that really rely on those reactive util combos or, you know, setups, trying to get picked apart and caught off guard sometimes. Initial Paranoia going to push both the Sova and the Raze off. The Phoenix wall there. Elbow control is taken here by RIMA. They don't need to force the issue over here though. In fact, they baited out a showstopper, which is going to connect onto Yanni, but not finish her. Oh, wait, 0 damage? Okay, what? This ult's busted. Please tell me someone from Riot's watching this.
I was waiting for the HP to drop, and then I'm looking
I thought
at
it was the HUD delay. Like sometimes the HUD delay comes in. Oh, we can talk about that all we want. It's a dive into elbow. It's actually a pretty good tracks here for Dangerous Rose. And by the way, while all this was happening, we've wrapped through mid into the B site in front of the Cypher trips, and ended up once again in a B side after plant. How does this keep happening? I swear to God, every time RIMA end up on B and Dangerous Rose are in Narnia on the other side of the map, they've got to go back through the wardrobe, you know, say what's up to Mr. Tumnus, and then try to attempt this retake when they've got like 15 seconds to get it going.
There's no information of where these players are as well. This one-way smoke, I'm guessing, no, never mind, just the normal one. That's good enough. Not expecting to play on top. Bugsy and Bless both gotta pick up those last 2 kills. But I'm still stumped. How did that ult deal 0 damage?
It's okay, Coldan. It's over now. Just have to move on with the game.
Yeah, so does...
You know what though, when I casted Game Changers EMEA, and I did like 5 or 6 days of it, I swear to God, showstoppers in Game Changers are bugged. I didn't see a single showstopper kill anyone ever, and I saw a lot of whiffs. So there's something going on here. I wish I could replay all of those for the stream. That'd be some great content. Maybe a little painful for Coldown though, so we'll hold off on that one. RIMA, straight into B main. Got a lot of big impact ults. Run it back and showstopper definitely going to help streamline this B execute. Shock gets, the trick gets broken straight away. And in they go with those ults. It's a full retake setup here for Dangerous Rose.
Yeah, showstopper. Well, as usual, gets nothing. You know, living up to your statistic. Alright, double flank down mid as well. Opportunities, options for RIMA. They've been successful so far. The double man advantage. It's surely a done deal already. Patey's one off the Sova ultimate. Oh, spots out a barrel at the very least, but not expecting a player up close. Rise getting to Marine, stuck behind another dark cover. Spammed out as well. Bless does not even allow Marine to get away with a life. It's a 5th round now garnered. It's so methodical and so intentional by RIMA. They're so proficient in these attacks.
Yeah, like I actually really rate that from RIMA. I've seen, you know, the same Phoenix ult into market from Loud, Showstopper into the back of the site. I mean, they're just cycling through their big impact ults to be able to continue stringing these rounds together. And especially in a round like that, like that's a reset round. What's 2 impact ults to be able to break the other team's economy and just keep stringing your attack rounds together? That's exactly what you want to be doing. So credit where credit's due to RIMA. There's a reason why when you have 2 big impact ults like that, you just go into the small site. They break the trip straight away and forces Dangerous Rose already on the back foot. And before they can even attempt any of these retakes, it feels like they are either completely out of position or down like 2 or 3 players.
Yeah, it's so difficult for Dangerous Rose. Like, what is the call right now? You got so many ults, right? That surely incentivizes you to maybe give it a shot, maybe invest just a little bit more. But how much of it is just false hope? And you know, if they commit to this purchase, they commit to this buy with your ultimates. If you lose that round, then the next round you don't have those ultimates for your gun rounds. It's a weird situation to find themselves in, up against, you know, a 1-0 scoreline already. You lose this map and you're out of the tournament.
Yeah, I think it's probably going to be a bit too much pressure to bear. We're on the half buy here, and they're going to go for the mid walk again. In fact, I say walk, it's kind of a thunderous approach here. Paranoia straight into Tiles, Dart, and Pain Shells to bottom mid. Here's the Showstopper, oh, sorry, the Boombot rather. There's the reactive Paranoia back from the attack though. They want to try to crush mid. Tiles, Dizzy gets thrown out as well. In fact, the Phoenix ult. Micro's going to be pinned into the corner, but she's able to win her duel and then some. Only finally dealt with by Bless, and everyone else in mid is dead. There was potential there, Coldan. There was something getting cooked up, but right at the last minute, unfortunately, I don't know where this analogy is going. The pot boiled over, I guess. What's something that can sabotage your dish at the last second? We oversalted it. What happened?
It was so chaotic though. There was fights on the alt mid, towards itself. The Phoenix alt.
Actually, something.
Overcooked or undercooked?
Overcooked. Nah, yeah.
It was just
you abandoned it like I should have. That's fair. And look, Dangerous Rose, they've had enough of playing passive. They've had enough of being 3v5 on the retake. We're straight down into mid again here, Coldan. We're making moves. Whether they're money moves or not, I guess we'll find out soon. Looks like actually RIMA, like they've broken that trip. I thought they were going to go back and re-clear mid, but they're going back to A here, and that's another full retake. I think the diff.
Nice.
Ooh, hold on.
Yeah, Rice should expect that there's at least 2 players there, right? It's very aggressive from that race. Dink, give it over as well, and no heals available.
The thing is, this time for Dangerous Rose, not only do they at least have even numbers if we end up in a post plant here, but they've got some pretty big impact ults. We'll see if Tub gets the plant here on the Gecko. That would actually be a Thrash in the mid to late round, which would really disrupt the retake. Bugsy's taking a little bit of a look into middle here. And actually, Thrash picked up from the orb and invested on early. We want to see this clear out the site and just get thrown onto a safe position where you can re-pick it up, and that's exactly what happens. Tub's going to be able to cycle that Thrash back, which will be massive to disrupt this retake attempt.
Alright, you got Hunter's Fury. That's pretty much it for aggressive ultimates. From the Shadows Investor, just to spot out information, gotta get cancelled. No flank available just now. There's the satchel coming up. Oh, a timing, a flash, perfectly done. The counter flashes, they're flashing each other. Everyone's blind, but Micro coming out on top of that endeavor. Terran's barely on any HP, spam through the smoke. Yeah, he finds a kill onto Micro at the very end. Still fights on either front, short and long. Tom is here, Tom is wreaking havoc. And Marine tries her very best, but gets traded out by Bless. And Rima, yet again, they find themselves in a post-ban situation. They play aggro, they break up the setup of that retake. And another round now on the board.
Jesus Christ, everyone blind in spawn here. Stevie Wonder and Ray Charles playing a duet or something. I don't know. Half buy coming in here for Dangerous Rose. I mean, Jesus. This is just every round a retake attempt, and every round it's just not working out for them. Like, they need to be fighting B main or A main or something. Like, they can't keep putting themselves in these positions where we end up in a retake. It's just not working. Like, I know, you know, everyone, you organize yourself a game plan when you're playing defense. You want to try to play like flood heavy or retake or something. Right now it's not working. We need a change of approach. Here again is the run it back straight through market side, and it's going to be another B after plant retake scenario.
Oh my, Bless aware of the flank potential as well. They've gotten so much map control. They've closed the door. They've got control over that Boba position as well. They want to go for a heavy flank position. Let's see if that pays out any dividends. Bless, more than aware of this. Off of a timing with the Dizzy in tow. This is a massacre. Every single fight won out by Rima. It's a masterclass. They got to swing in for the last as well. No mercy, give it over. 8 rounds to 1. Rima on a rampage.
They are. This is just not a close game of Valorant since basically the first half of Breeze, has to be said. Like, initial attacking half of Breeze, Dangerous Rose looked really good. Since that first half, it's been all Rima. Rima have looked like the far superior team. Micro has said it's time to bring back the Odin. I know I'm not playing Sofa, but remember that ace. And I'm watching intently. We're just 5-player pushing mid every round for Dangerous Rose. It's still not working. We're still doing it over and over again. Cam gets dealt with.
Here.
Surely it's gonna hit once, right? Surely one time it's gonna be successful. Freya. Oh no, back's turn, not expecting the contact.
I
Walk
know
up.
exactly where you
What a change of pace. What so different. And yet it's working so well, Rima. Yeah, they've got information of where this retake's coming out from as well. The neural theft revealing. Will the Sova find any success whatsoever? The drone together with the trade frag from Marine. But the Odin though are not going to be able to find any success whatsoever. Paradoya comes through, but they're not accelerating. Cyber Cage as well as the dark cover just hinders them even further. Locked between a rock and a hard place. They've been flanked as well. This is devastating to watch. Shotguns out. 9-1. Rima have got the right read. They've got the right call. And, well, Dangerous Rose insisted on mid time and time again. Not successful on those retakes.
Definitely not. It's starting to get out of hand here. Bit too much stubbornness from a couple of the teams tonight, and those have been the teams that are getting sent out of GC. I mean, they already used their timeout, and Rima.
Use both? Oh, one per half, right?
Well, one per half, yeah. And Rima is not going to be attacking here. Like, there's a lot of times as a coach where if my team has a lot of ults or a lot of momentum, there's no way I'm calling attack just for the sake of it and giving the other team time to discuss.
Oh, and they avoid the push again.
Well.
It's perfect. They hear the aggressive B and they just accelerate straight towards A. Another A retake has to be called for. Freya's traps have got nothing. Swinging out into a dry fight, and Bugsy catches the rotate of Marine. They don't even have smokes for the retake, and Bugsy's got to be cutting them off as well. They're not even retaking. They're busy trying to find out where Bugsy is. Jumping around, hippity hop as they fall down stairs. Bless just holding down the angle. Tattles up his Yanni as well. They're spectacle of this. Are they successful in the retake though? Great swing out, but it's just Micro left alone. It's still technically doable. 1v2's gotta hit some blinders right here, but oh my gosh! The lineup with the Bulldog. Wondering where that Molly was gonna land, but it's the shots that actually hit. And a second round, a lifeline. Yeah, enough time. Gave it away.
All right. Well, there you go. Dangerous Rose. They're going to double up their rounds there.
Last round
Looking
before the
pretty
switch.
nice. Hero play from Micro. Seen a couple of those tonight, to be fair. And look, it's not something that's replicatable, but at least it's a retake that's won. see if they can scrape a third together and then get themselves rolling on their attacking side.
See, some
Where's the
teams, right,
push?
when they get that kind of a lead, they just kind of play a bit loose. Guys, let's just go for a little bit of ego.
Oh,
peak.
it's legit a phenomenon. It is.
It is, it
It's
is.
something that goes back all the way to another version of TAC FPS where I would always notice it casting like 6, 7, 8 years ago. Like, oh, one team is winning 10-0, and then it's like an extra. It's like they're a bit too lax, you know. It's a bit of a charity round being thrown on over there.
I don't know, but Rima's keep getting the right reads. It's not even just based off information. I don't know if it's just unlucky or what, but Rima has just been hitting the A side time and time again the last couple of rounds, and there's nobody home. Freya not even playing with the chips, it's just info trips, info cams, but there's no kill setups. We've seen how things have panned out in a post-plan transition! Blessed! They're all across the map, they're planted at A, they dive B main, the showstopper invested. The basically flawless round coming through, it is flawless. What a destruction coming in from Rima. Just an
Sides.
elimination of every single attempt from Dangerous Rose.
That
Oh
was
my
nice.
lord.
I mean, that was nuts. You know what? That was such a good spray down. Let's throw it back to the panel and they can tell us what they thought of that.
Break it down for us. Come on.
I love how these guys, they just seem so done with it. Filski's just like, you know what, just break it down for us. Just take it away from me for now so I can catch my breath, because those were some insane rounds. And Tash, it feels like actually we were playing the same round over and over again for maybe 8 or 9 times in a row until Micro Build just suddenly decided I'm gonna go for an Odin and gets a surprise 2K. I don't know. That was a very explosive half, but it was so dominant for Rhea with GC. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, Rima looks very, very dominating, and I have to say it's because Dangerous Rose possibly just doesn't know how exactly to deal with Rima. A team that is just, you have Bugsy lurking, either Bugsy or even Bless lurking mid, and a lot of situations, they are actually putting, or Dangerous Rose is actually putting 3 people onto the mid side. And when they do, they're trying to catch these 2 in those mid rotations, but they know how exactly to mark these players, when to push out, when to hold, and a lot of time is spent by Dangerous Rose in the mid side just trying to find these 2 when sides such as B or mostly A was just given to Rima for completely free. And Dangerous Rose is trying to play this retake style of plays, but it's a little bit too hard. They take too long for the rotations. Rima has had too much time to prepare for those post plans. They have a lot of crossfire going on. They are very adept in these gunfights, and it's very hard to play it very well. I mean, yeah, there are those moments. I mean, a hero play from Micro did manage to get them the second point, but in this situation, they need to start reassessing what they're doing wrong, because doing the same thing over and over again, as Albert Einstein says, is insanity.
Yeah, it totally is, especially for, you know, for that long, for that much. And Rima GC, it just didn't even feel like they were digging in too deep. Like they didn't need to dig too deep into their utility or to their strat book too much, just because they, Dangerous Rose, they were just playing into them over and over again. And we're gonna see if, you know, maybe comeback? Question mark? It's looking a little tough right now. It's not impossible. Is it improbable? It's looking like it. So casters, I hope you've managed to catch your breath, because we're going to toss it back to you for what could be the final half of this series.
Yeah, it's kind of looking like it. We'll see. We'll see. I'm hoping Dangerous Rose have got something for us on this attacking side of Sunset here, Cold Down. They've played this map a couple of times, but, you know, it's just one of those things here. Straight into the lower bracket of the playoffs here in Game Changers SEA, and it's a do or die situation. I don't know that there's many teams that can stand up to that pressure.
Arise has been calling a stellar game so far. Also shout out Albert Einstein. I like that reference. But, well, Dangerous Rose might need to seek a little bit of help from Einstein, right? What is the call? You gotta call a perfect attacking side right here. It all starts with this pistol.
Here.
Does. A little bit of a tickle towards market. Smoke to top mid. Drone sent on in there. Dark cover exchanged over on market side there for the defense. Rima. Deep in B main here, Rice. Taking a duel with Freya, who was outstanding in the first map. Couple of big impact clutches from her, and that's a great entry. Be able to shut down that info line from the defensive duelist Paranoia over on market side. They're looking to crunch together with the pain shells, and that completely backfires.
The Paranoia didn't connect to anyone. A little bit early, premature, slightly off kilter,
Spike
but
planted.
yeah. At least that is around. I mean, okay, maybe let me not say anything just yet. 2v5. Alright, Bless, Tub. What do you have in store for us? It's difficult retake. They've gotten control over Bova as well.
Last
It's a
player
duel. This
standing.
angle does not favor her whatsoever. And 1v5, and so finally, Dangerous Rose pulls around on the board. Pistol goes to the back pocket. Round by round.
That's it, round by round.
Round by round.
You know, the haters won't like it, but every round of Valorant is completely separated from the other round of Valorant, you know? Like, it's just a new round. Just play the game. This is where we need the, you know, the goldfish memory, the little flashy stick from Men in Black. Just like, forget about whatever happened. This is a new half. We want attacking side pistol. Let's get this reverse sweep going.
That's actually a great thing you pointed out, right? It's a mentality thing. You gotta make sure that your mentality is in check. Don't let it boom. Don't let it explode.
This
Get your,
it's good.
Get your
It's
rounds.
good anti-eco so far.
get your ecos. There we go.
Yeah.
There we go.
I think there's only very few players I know who can have that mentality. There's a player that I coached once who, at an international, you know, VCT APAC event, went like 0-11 on Neon, and you know, after the game, just laughed
One
about
enemy
it.
remaining.
But you know, the majority of people I feel are kind of more so in the head in hands, I'm on tilt kind of situation. That's a good one though. Dangerous Rose. 4K for Marine, very clean anti-eco. Going into the bonus with all guns up is a good feeling. They love the Spectres. At least on Sunset,
do.
those will be a little bit more effective though.
Alright, I'll take note whenever Pilsky is watching a game that could be played. You guys should never buy Spectres on Breeze.
No, it's fine on this map. It's just Breeze. You just don't
It's just
buy an
Breeze, just
SMG on Breeze.
Is Breeze the
Cold down.
only map? Is Breeze the only map? Are there any other maps that you don't like it on?
I don't know. That's a too complicated of a question
It's too,
for
it's
right now.
too late for
It's 3 minutes till midnight for me, so let's just leave that one. My brain only has so many brain cells, and they're struggling to comprehend what this bonus strat's going to be for now. Got deep aim and control here. Tickled the orb, beautiful. It's exactly what you want to be doing, baiting out the paranoia. Got the curveball to be able to potentially catch them, trying to scale back up. There's a recycle on the dark cover, deep on the one-way. Tickle the orb again, do it again. That's beautiful. Sova drone dealt with. Loving what I'm seeing right now from RIMA.
Yeah, just wasting all the utility. Now all of that utility, the drone and everything is not going to be useful to execute, but might not even come down to it. What a beautiful flash coming in from Rice. It just takes down the opponent, Phoenix, and that is just them running for the hills. And RIMA this as well. Look at the rotates coming in. They should expect it's gonna be a B take, but it is a retake setup coming in from Bless. Just a couple of kill trips, far corners of the site.
Good retake.
30 seconds left.
Something you see a lot at the moment. Trip dealt with. They've gotten out onto the side, but RIMA with the player advantage, massive weaponry advantage, and a fair bit of util to get this
Spike
retake
planted.
going.
Here comes the smoke. Paranoia's in their hands as well. They got a man advantage, weapon advantage. RIMA set up for success. They know where Terran is as well. Surely this should be around for them. Yes, it does. Actually, the trade's coming out in the favor of DRG, but they pull things back down to a 2 versus 2. Marines coming in from the flank. The tap, the spike, the smoke comes through. The spray and pray. And it's a 1 versus 1. Rice on for the ace. Stick, shock dart, through the smoke, and the kills. Haiti answers back with 4 of her own, and you mentioned man disadvantage, weaker weapons, stuck in the side, yet they pull out the win.
I think Patey just doubled her kills on 4K on the bonus to break the money here of RIMA. Oh mate, we're cooking with gas. Let's go. What a shocky as well with the peak timed perfectly. You literally couldn't have written a better script, mate. Now a chance for the anti-eco here for Dangerous Rose, and we got a game on our hands.
Hold on a minute. Bonus 1. Low buy for RIMA. You win this. Money looking great. Micro. You've been having a little fun. Odin in the hands of an attack Phoenix is something that I have not said I don't think ever.
I think there's a reason for that. There's probably a reason for that. But you know what? I give Micro a pass because that Odin ace was ridiculous and
Have a
very
cool restaurant.
entertaining. Smoke 2 top mid here for Dangerous Rose. This is where RIMA's starting to pivot. This could be a mid crunch. Shoot the top mid smoke. Hades in front of it.
Spike down mid.
Absolute mess.
Got Odin!
Going up.
What?
It's worked out. We're at a 3-on-3 now though, Coldan. Give yourself a second to breathe. Back to full
Alright.
HP for the Phoenix. What do?
Bugsy, only one here. Phoenix gets out of harm's way. They've extracted the Phoenix, got the spike as well. But Bugsy wants a little bit more. Here's a reload. Here she comes around the corner. Does not care that they're holding down mid. Marine left alone. And it's a thrifty round of all ways to do it. RIMA, they take it away thanks to a mid crunch and aggression coming in from Market.
I cursed it. We cursed it, Coldan.
No, the Odin.
I thought they were back
Enemy remaining.
and better than ever. Then they lose to Pistols. I feel like I'm watching my bloody team play right now. It's just tilting. Attack timeout here. I'd imagine that's going to be on the side of Dangerous Rose. We'll see. It's RIMA actually. Which, you know, I don't mind. Give yourself a chance to calm down. This is actually an incredibly important swing round. You can really kind of mess with the money of Dangerous Rose if you pick this round up, and this could just be the game on a silver platter for you. So I don't mind it. It is going to give a chance for Dangerous Rose, though, to also chat. Tack timeouts are a double-edged sword. So this is a chance for Dangerous Rose to recompose themselves after losing to Thrifty and try to get their heads screwed on right. One off the showstopper for them. Run it back and Thrash available for RIMA. These are fantastic retake ultimates. So we'll see what they're going to bring into a round like this.
Still the Odin purchase though. I can't
Yeah.
get over it. It is
I mean,
not.
it's
Phoenix
a gun you
running
can
for
buy.
themselves.
It is a-
and then, yeah, technically, true. Pilsky, you are correct. That is factual.
You're allowed to buy that. If you have 3.2k, you can buy that.
You can buy Spectres on Breeze too.
They did do that. That's allowed.
That is allowed. Not illegal.
It didn't work,
Check the
but
rules.
it was allowed. All right. Raise on the info line towards elbow and the Gecko. This is pretty classic setup at the moment. There's the dart on the window, dealt with straight away by Yanni. Patience from Dangerous Rose. Waiting for some aggression. They got caught in this position from the Phoenix setup before. Mosh at the ready. Reactive util from the Gecko and the paint shells could really break up this push as they contact up.
Somebody out.
Comes the boombot. Oh, alright. Just one of the players noted for gunfire. Mosh pit there just for a little bit of time to reposition. They have the Thrash as well, so Tub. Very key piece of utility available. And look at Dangerous Rose. They don't like the sound of things. They hear a little bit too much pressure. They decide, hey, let's pivot off. Let's try mid.
40 seconds. This is very indecisive. I'm getting deeply concerned. Market door broken. Are they going to go back to A off the back of that? They pulled the
30
Phoenix back
seconds
towards
left.
top middle. There's another dark cover. Yeah, 30 seconds. They're going to go back. The Thrash is active. The paint shells are active. The run it back. The Flood could be so deadly on this A site. There's 20 seconds. They're still walking cold down. Please, someone tell
Guys.
them what the clock says.
Revealing area.
15 seconds left. One player in the side. Yanni has the chance to do
There's
the
no
funniest
time.
thing. Wait, you have
seconds
guys.
left.
You gotta run. Guys, you gotta run with the Odin in hand. The threat comes through. They're all stunned. No, they don't. The spike getting planted. Yanni is here. Yanni
Down A.
answers back. Just a single kill, and that is the round over. Yeah, you can get all the kills you want from now and here on out, but
Match
that
point.
is 12. No way it comes down to that.
Oh my god.
Oh, they've got a sixth player. It's called Father Time.
Bro. To be fair, you know, I can't really talk smack at all because up until a very late age, I couldn't read the clock either. Just like, you know, the hands, the short hand,
Oh,
the long
no.
hand, what does it all mean?
Is there a pause? Is there a pause? Or are they just stunned in spawn? Okay, there is a pause. Okay.
Bro, I don't know, tactical, technical. They need a bloody spiritual pause at this point, like that play
Spiritual
needed
pause.
Jesus. For real. I feel bad for that bear. Like that's
That is
not where,
fate.
that's where I'm gonna end up if they stop hiring me for GC. Not gonna lie.
I think the OBS is trying to tell us the kind of strat that was.
Wow, that's toxic.
Alright, my bad. Okay,
I didn't say it. You
just
said
make
it,
fun of
Coldan,
us.
not me. That wasn't even me, bro.
The ops put it in front of me. You know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Look, they got
Let's look,
5 ults.
let's look on the bright side. Let's look on the bright side, right? They got 5 ults.
Hey,
Their money
if
is
I'm gonna
not
look,
the worst.
if I'm
do
gonna look on
something.
the right side. Oh, okay. So what I'm hearing from the producer is that round was an April Fool's joke.
Ah. Alright.
Right.
Makes sense now.
So we're just tech pausing, and what we're actually going to do is a round rollback to round 17.
That's crazy.
That's absolutely not going to happen. I'm telling lies on the broadcast. Please, nobody
Wait.
believe me.
Alright. I didn't say it. Hey, it's on the record, alright? Pilski, blood's on your
No,
hands.
It's not me.
I'm
Please,
washing mine.
Don't fire me. I can't end up like the bear between the dumpsters, bro. That's no way to live.
Oh my.
He looks happy there. He looks content. To be fair, maybe he's chilling. Maybe he likes being stinky.
That's actually a great metaphor, right? You gotta look at the bright side and things, you know? Sometimes you're squished between 2 trash cans, bunch of flies in your face, but you're still alive. You're still in this world. This is fine.
That's true.
This is very fine.
Yeah. All right, 10 seconds. Ticking down. We're out of the tech pause. We're ready to rock and roll. We got 5 ults here for Dangerous Rose. Every round of Valorant is an individual round. That last round never happened. We're back on the comeback train. 7 in a row. Dart to elbow. Once again, the Gecko and the Rays contesting, but after a measly Sova dart, they've had the fear of God put into them. They will fall back onto the safer lines. Ready with the reactive util here. Phoenix has floated over as well.
Alright, what do you have in store for us? Got so many ultimates to work with. We're playing serious now. Lock in. No Odin. But a Guardian in the hands of Micro. Creeping up along, and that's a lot of space guarded already. RIMA just content to play retake in this situation. Setting up all their utilities, everything that they would like. The paranoia. Run it back. More than enough to gain control over the site. Oh, showstopper invested by Yanni.
Spike
Up and
down
above,
A.
drops the spike as well as Pady. Things are getting heated up now.
Yeah.
Retake has to be called for. Spike not yet planted, taking their own sweet time, but it shouldn't be too much of an issue. What does the defense have? Showstopper on the other side. A flash comes through, spots out a couple of players, being forced off that angle. Oh, and the Molly is doing God's work. Rice with 2 beautiful kills. It's all falling apart. Showstopper invested. Another back of the site. What can they do? Terran gets spotted out. A blind fire comes in, and RIMA with a beautiful retake.
Yeah.
Incredibly done. It's 13 of 5. And they survive the lower brackets and they eliminate
Defenders win.
Dangerous Rose.
Perfectly played retake, has to be said. Really, really well organized there. They just let all of that pressure, you know, really put a bit of a situation in Dangerous Rose's head. They kind of invested on the execute and burned through absolutely everything and lost a player on the way into the nice little off angle from the Rays. They had nothing left to defend that retake, and that's exactly what RIMA did, flooding back in. Beautiful back-to-back 3 halves for them to keep themselves alive in this lower bracket. And similar to the first series, that's another good little team to keep your eye on. I think that these are going to be some banger games in the lower bracket. We'll throw it back to the panel to discuss such things.
Thank you very much to Colden and to Pilski for that very entertaining cast. I feel like, I laughed way more than I thought I would during that. But Tash, this match, I believe, or that last map rather, I was not expecting that kind of, I guess, domination from RIMA, especially in the first half, and I wasn't expecting, I guess, those kind of plays to come out of Dangerous Rose.
Yeah, I mean, I sort of had already projected this, especially after Rima GC had taken down for fun on that map 14-12, a team that's a little bit more experienced compared to this particular team. Now, coming back into that matchup again, I understand why the Phoenix has picked up there. It's something that very loud inspired from Madrid, and I think that the Yoru was definitely from there as well. So I love to see all the girls really getting excited about how to play a more, I would say, a more competitive pick rather than the comfort picks. Now, coming into that first half, it felt like Rima is all just so good at just cycling through their ults and just breaking Dangerous Rose's economy. They're doing well at making sure that because the map is very tiny, they don't need 2, 3 ults at the same time to really try and take a side to win a round. They can just use one ult; it's already enough for them to take a side. And I think that DGR, they want to go for this more retake sort of play on defense side, but they're not getting that on the second on the first half. And it's just really hard because you have Bugsy lurking tiles, you have Bless lurking on the backside as well. So every time DGR tries to go for that flank, for that lurk, they're just gonna get caught out so many times. And for Rima, they already have a lot of protocols on as well. If say they're planting on B side, and you have Bless watching in on B main or the backside, she's saying, "Okay, I hear more than one going in for the flank. Can you throw in a flash?" Immediately, we're gonna see that Gecko come through with the Dizzy, and she's gonna get 3 picks, like we saw on a particular round. I believe it was round number 9. Now, while I talk about this more, let's have a look at the score as well. And I think that on the second half, we were really expecting and hoping for TGR to get the pistol. It wasn't really the best one. They did, and they did. They managed to get 1 pistol. They managed to get 2 rounds out of that, which really projected them to a closer scoreline compared to the first half. But then after that, I felt after round number 16 and above, Rima started to understand these patterns. It took some time, but it took them some time to understand. And Rima started to have this sort of defensive play where they have 2 on top mid, 2 on site, and 2 on A. And DGR had no clue where to pivot to and where to go.
It's just so difficult when you have Rima that just managed to get such amazing momentum in that first half, and then you are just like 3 rounds away from victory on series point, and you have Dangerous Rose that was willing to really go through that comeback, but it's just that they lost so much of that energy, they lost so much momentum. We could see that there were some miscoms, there were some things that maybe they should have paid more attention to that didn't get enough attention. But yeah, it's a lot to work off of, at least for this team, going into what their future might be, right? And for Rima, I'm very excited for the rest of their playoffs run, right? Because this is a team that not only can frag, but they're not afraid to bring out so many things from their strat book, right? I feel like we haven't even scratched the surface of what this team is capable of and what Bugsy is capable of as well. I'm really excited to get to know them better. Also, especially since, again, this team is still just about to get their groove in here at the playoffs.
Yeah, this is a very new team. Other than 2 players that have previously played in, I believe it's a Deviant Topaz, the rest are still very quite raw, very quite new, and they're really showing us that they are definitely understanding what it takes to come and compete here on the bigger stage. Bugsy, great, I would say really great performance from her. Great lurks, she had full control of tiles, and she was able to get so many picks coming in from tiles on the attack side, from tiles to mid all the way to market. They managed to do this really beautiful crunch sort of play with her teammates on site as well, which really doesn't give a lot of space for DGR to do anything on defense side. It was very rare to actually see them be able to defuse a spike safely. They only managed to get 2, I believe, in the first half before finally getting a few more rounds on attack. But by then, so many rounds were already given away. Again, the same thing I'm going to say from the first half is that they had given way too many rounds in the first half, that it gives very little room for them to come back and make mistakes. So props to Rima GC for really doing their homework and being very dynamic with how they play. They have really good mid-round adjustments as well, and they're really good at pivoting. If they realize that, okay, we're gonna hit A and there's too many people, they're okay with letting the 2 to just continue their aim duels and quickly just pivot toward B. And it's okay because they're understanding that in terms of firepower, in terms of individual brilliance, they have it on themselves. They don't need all 5 to bring in the firepower to take a side.
And that really shows, that it's a testament to how this team is so willing to work together, especially since that was something that we saw consistently from Breeze all the way through Sunset, right? They're very, very active, very quick on the rotations. And that's also why I'm excited to see the rest of their playoffs run, because they seem like a team that, is really built and like so compatible with each other. So, like, congratulations to them. For Dangerous Rose, though, I do have to say congratulations still to them. It was the first time that they made it all the way here through playoffs. So I do think that they had a lot of standout players too, especially Micro, who gave us a lot of memories today that will forever be etched
Our Odin
in
hero.
our brains.
Forever
Yes,
gonna be
our
calling Micro
Odin
our
hero.
Odin hero. Insane. Absolutely insane. Now coming back to I think what you mentioned earlier in the pre-show about the journeys of these players. I again reminding everyone that previously we had an open 1, 2, 3, open overtime, and then we finally had elite. So these are all still within Asia Pacific itself, which means that you technically have 4 chances to make it to elite. So elite was where everyone would kind of like make it to champions, but this time around it's changed. You have split 1 and split 2. So the winners of split 1 will be moved into split 2, and the other 6 players or 4 players, let me just check on that, will be going through an open qualifiers to go through again. So basically split 2 is what all the players have their eyes on for to make it to GC Pacific, coming very, very soon in October to be exact. So which also means that a lot of these players don't even though they don't have a lot of chances as they used to, which also means that they really have to push themselves. They really can't play around anymore because stakes are extremely high.
It also means that all of the teams that are here, all of the players that have made it here at playoffs, they absolutely 100% deserve to be here, because there's such a fine room to for mistakes, right? So you absolutely know that all of these teams really went up against the best of the very best to be able to get it here. Like you mentioned, Tash earlier, like RIMA GC did go up against some very heavy hitters from the game changer scene. That when we saw exactly why. So I think it's going to be really, really exciting. This is only stage 1, and we have so many new faces. We have so many new players to look out for, and so many old players rather returning, because perhaps the meta is now in their favor. Because perhaps they found a team that can really cater to them more. So I love it. It's going to be so exciting here for the rest of the playoffs, and I can't wait to see the rest of these teams. We've only seen 4 here on our substream so far, and I think I believe Sipto did win for the first series on the upper
I mean,
bracket.
are you surprised?
No, absolutely not. I mean, it's only like Alexei, Camille, and Neri on there. I mean, who else? Shirazi's on there too, and then you have Tara. I mean, why would I?
I'm excited for Tara's return. It's been a while.
Oh yeah.
So here's a bit of a fun fact for Tara. She actually was planning on stopping competing entirely. She had a new job,
Oh, wow.
planning on have a baby. So because the girls actually called her back to play, she actually stopped doing all of that just to compete with the girls. So
Oh my
it is very
gosh.
exciting to see her actually find that passion again, that little spark to compete once again. So it is very, very exciting. So
That's
coming back,
amazing.
it is amazing. You hear these kind of stories come through, right? And especially for the girls, because as for girls, we're not a lot of us actually compete. Is the stage isn't as big as what it is, or at least set for the guys as well. So hearing that that we're getting second chances, or we're getting like more time to even compete as as life goes on, is something very exciting to hear as well. It's also very, very inspiring if you think about it. Now coming back into today, I think that it's also a statement play as well. The fact that for fun, a team that has that has had all these players from Enigma Galaxy before, from OGX, hearing them have gone down, not being able to make it because of the newer blood is also something to watch out for. But for now, I think we do have an interview, right, Mika?
Yes, we do. Let's bring on Rice over here to your screens and pull her in for a quick interview. Hey, Rice. Are you there? Can you hear us?
Yes.
Hi.
Hi.
Hello. Oh my gosh. Wait, we're seeing ourselves on your screen, and
Oh,
as
yes.
we're watching our
Oh,
screen,
this is
it's
like
Screenception.
it's like streamception right now. Wow, exciting.
Hi, Rice. So we
Hi,
have some quick
hi.
questions for you. I really I know that you've been playing with Bugsy and Yanni for a while.
Yes.
So
yes.
how did you guys manage to pull this team together for Game Changers Southeast Asia?
Uh, Bless was introduced to a mutual friend, and thought we just picked her up from the DB roster because we heard that they were disbanding. Yeah. So actually, when we first approached Bless, actually she didn't want to play. She wanted to stop, like take a break from competing. But she was like, "Oh, actually, this team got potential," so she gave it a try. Yeah.
You know, I really like hearing that coming through because I think that you guys have a really solid roster coming through as well. So let's talk a little bit about your journey coming into Game Changers. So when you guys came through here, you guys came up against a very strong team for fun. I'm sure you guys are very familiar with the
Yeah.
players of that roster. How tough
Yep.
was it trying to take that roster down, and were you expecting to win against them?
No, actually, I was completely not expecting to win against them because one of them is my friend Mandu. Yeah. Then as in there was a lot of fear for me going into that game because like my team counts on me a lot. They depend on me a lot for like the agiling and stuff. But they just kept reminding me and motivating me that it doesn't matter who we're playing against as long as we play together. We don't care about what they're doing. We play together. We can win it. So yeah.
That's a lot of confidence, honestly, coming through. I love
Mm.
hearing that from you, Mika. What do you have another question for her?
I do. Is I was wondering if there's a team that you wanted to, like, you really wanted to go up against here in the playoffs. Which team is it and why?
Actually, we don't really have like any expectations for ourselves or anything. We just want to come here and have fun. And actually, we're all just like really excited that we made it to the playoffs. So we're just ready for whichever team comes up next. Yeah.
All right, so final question from me. Now that you're already in playoffs and you've already managed to survive another day, so can you share with us a little bit about how you girls not only you already told us the story of how you guys got together, but what about your routines or like how are you guys managing to practice? Because it seems like some of you guys are very very new and some of you have competed before. What's it like for you in the team, and how's the routine going on for your prep?
Uh, we don't have much of a routine. It's more like screams, dry run. We actually never bothered. but but routine wise, I don't think any one of us have an actual routine for like aim or anything. We just sort of just wake up and then come together into the call early and then start practicing together. And then we just learn from our screams and stuff.
All right, there we go. I think thank you so much for spending time and answering questions. Congratulations today on your win.
Congratulations!
Really excited for you guys to see a new team, new faces. I think because for a long time we've had the same teams for a while now, and now with the region now being split from South Asia, we're seeing more new faces. Mika, what's your thoughts?
I think it's so exciting, and I would love to see more faces, just like Rice, for example, who I think 100% deserves some of the spotlight this year, and the rest of RIMA GC. So congratulations to you guys, and good luck with the rest of your playoffs run. Bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Wow.
Gotta love that screenception that we had.
I love the
I was
screenceptions.
I was looking for myself on the screen. I don't know
Oh,
if
you were?
as
I
well.
could see myself because I was at the bottom. But anyways, I wanted to say that this is really exciting for me. Coming in, seeing this team come together as well. And I think a lot of teams as well kind of formed quite last minute. Hearing the news about GC Southeast Asia, which means that it's a lot easier for a lot of the players now because there's a lot more slots. They don't have to worry about the stronger teams before, like Global Esports, Orangutan would mostly be playing in South Asia as well, which means there's a lot more areas for them to play, which is also really exciting because it really shown today. We're really served today by the newer players, showing us that the veterans are no longer on top.
Absolutely, and you also have returning players, right? Players that we haven't seen maybe since 2022 that are suddenly making that comeback. As we go into our brackets for today, we're seeing, these two teams come out on top, two new teams, Aura Differential, and we have RIMA GC, right? And we know that a lot of these teams have had familiar names, but we also see new names coming in, like Graham's on the side of Aura Differential that made such a mark. So it really is all about this. This is what the Game Changer scene is about, developing all of this new talent to go up against those that have made it to champions in the past, right? That have made it onto that stage and have become household names here in the Game Changer Southeast Asia scene, Tash.
That's right. So tomorrow for lowers, we're gonna be having only one stream, thankfully. So we're gonna be seeing, oh my god, I have to say this on stream, Mommy's Little Kittens versus Aura versus Aura Differential, and then after that we're gonna see Money First versus Rima. So these are two very very exciting matches because again, tomorrow will be a full day of elimination matches.
I love how you brought the attention to the names. Our names can get very creative here, as well as the logos. It's something that we do love to see as well. As creative as all of the strats, all of the plays that we're eager to see here on Game Changers, because it's a whole new stage, it's a whole new season, and we've got so many new teams here that are eager to make their mark. So stay tuned for that. We have more action coming for you tomorrow. For now, it's Tash Bunny and Mika Fabs signing out for you guys. See ya.
One enemy remaining. One enemy remaining.
Planted.
One enemy remaining.
That's three. We're done here.
One enemy remaining. One enemy
Satchel out. Satchel out. Rift wall. Satchel out. Here comes the pack.
One enemy remaining.
I know it.
One enemy remaining.
Wingman's planting.
Spike planted. Done. Spike down.
Toxins going up. Poison.
Last player standing. Spike down. B.
There.
One enemy. Team Ace.
Get out of my way.
One enemy remaining. Spike down mid. Last.
Who?
One enemy remaining. I don't die so.
Welcome to my world. No charges left.
Healing area. Defeated.
One enemy remaining.
Gone.
remaining. One enemy remaining. One enemy remaining.
Fake teleport.
One enemy.
Toxins going up.
Why destroyed? Taken out. My ult. It was you or me.
Poison orb emitting.
One enemy remaining. Inside.
Idiot.
10 seconds left.